Logan, and you're watching ABL Live. I appreciate you all for being here. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me. And I thank y'all for that. Shout out to everybody that's coming in here for the first time. People that have been in here for a long time. I appreciate you guys for joining me. The big topic tonight, of course, is the Amber Guyger situation. Got found guilty, but a 10-year sentence. People are surprised. People are confused. People are a lot of different things. But I predicted this would be the case. 10 years, that's appropriate for what happened. It was an accident. I think the family knows that. The judge knows that. The jury knew that. And by the way, the jury, I think it was 6 black people, 4 Hispanics, and 1 or 2 whites. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I know there were 6 blacks. And quite a few women as well. They understood that this case was an accident. Was she negligent? Of course. Should she have gone to jail? Of course. But people are saying, oh, give her 25 years. I mean, come on. At a certain point, we got to think rationally and not so emotionally. It's one of those cases where it kind of tugs at your heartstrings. You know, you get an innocent guy minding his own business. But it was just a part in the phrase, but a comedy of errors. Just a lot of different things went wrong at once. A lot of different mistakes were made at once that cost a man his life. We'll talk about that and many more things on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for joining. Most certainly appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. We're going to talk about this Amber Guyger situation 100%. I don't understand people say she should have got more than what she got. Because let's be clear, we got to be consistent with the law, okay? We can't just be saying, just throwing out random numbers. Let's be consistent here. Because you got gangbangers that don't get 25 with the L, 30 years for killing kids and some more stuff. You understand? Like, there are certain precedents that are set. You can't just say, oh, well, 30 years. It was an accident. Everybody knew it was an accident. She parks on the wrong level and goes to the wrong house. 50% of the people that live in that apartment complex said they have done that exact same thing. Not as far as hurting anybody, but as far as going to the wrong apartment thinking it's theirs because of the way it's set up. It's very confusing. It's at night, 15-hour shift. You go to the wrong house. It can happen. It just so happened that so many things went wrong that it cost a man his life. She made some bad decisions and made a terrible mistake. Because of the bad decisions that she made, because of the lack of being able to pick up on certain context clues, like, okay, here's a red doormat that's not yours. Here's some furniture in the house that's not yours. There's weed smoke in the air. You don't smoke weed. Where are you at right now? Here's a man. Where's the warning commands? Where's the stop, freeze? Where is that at? Did that happen? Because of all those errors in her judgment, she goes to jail. But not because there was any kind of malicious intent. Quite frankly, the charge with murder would have been, that's actually not right. Manslaughter is appropriate according to the definition. Matter of fact, let me look it up. What is manslaughter in Texas? Because aside from the emotion, let's talk about law. You know, emotion is not going to actually hold up in the court of law. Not really. Not when you look at the actual law for what it is. Okay, let me see. All right. Now, for Texas, because laws are different, people are saying first degree murder, second degree murder. I thought the same thing, but that's not a thing in Texas. It's either capital murder, or manslaughter. That's it. There is no first degree, second degree, whatever. Capital murder is reserved for those that have killed more than one person. They killed a police officer or firefighter. Somebody got paid to do it, or if you kill more than, that is capital murder. And for that, you can get the chair. Murder right below that, that's what Amber Guyger got. She should have gotten manslaughter. Let's look at the definition of manslaughter in Texas. To be convicted of manslaughter, a defendant must be proven beyond reasonable doubt to have recklessly caused the death of another person. As opposed to murder, intent does not need to be proven in order to convict someone of manslaughter. So I think the main thing people were talking about was when they asked her, did you shoot him with the intent to kill? of course she's going to say yes, because that's correct. When you're shooting somebody, that's usually the intention. Like if it's your house, if you think it's your house and somebody's in there, you're going to shoot with the intent to kill. That does not mean that she had the notion to do that before she entered the home. That's, planning, and that's a whole different ball of wax. If you had degrees of murder in Texas, that'd be first degree. If she planned it, thought it out, and followed through with it, that'd be first degree. If it was an argument or something like that, that could be second. But in this particular case, it was a case of just a lot of errors being made and a mistake happening. Was it reckless? Yes. That's why it will fall under manslaughter, not murder. Let's look at murder and see what that says. In Texas now, because state is different. In order to be charged with murder, the defendant must have knowingly and willingly caused the death of another person. So they're getting her on this whole, I shot him with the intent to kill. Yes, she did, but the reason why she did that is because she thought it would be in her house. If you kill somebody with the intent if you shoot somebody with the intent of killing them while you're in your own home, you can get off. That's called castle doctrine. Stand your ground. That's how that law will be invoked. So that will nullify that previous statement. But let's continue. The biggest distinguishing factor between murder and manslaughter involves the intent of the perpetrator. If the defendant intended to cause serious bodily harm or death, or intended to commit a felony other than manslaughter that resulted in death, he or she can be charged with murder. So, it's kind of murky right there, quite honestly. It's murky. To charge her with that might have been overcharging. And if you are able to say that in court, be like, hey, I'm not really sure this fits me. This is not really what it was. This, that, and the third. And you get the family coming out and saying, I forgive you, all of this and that. The judge is hugging you. If you got all of that going on, you might go to the appellate court and get that thing reversed. Because of the high profile nature of it, I doubt that the sentence will get overturned, because really what happened is they gave her a manslaughter sentence on a murder conviction. That's what happened. So the difference in manslaughter and murder as it relates to Amber Guyger is that she will now have a felony 2 on the record rather than a felony 1. That's pretty much the end of it. If this were not a high profile case, she would probably beat that on an appeal. But since it is high profile, I think that the sentence is going to stay the way it is. People are already upset at the 10 years. So to have her beat the case on the charge being too stiff for what she did, it wouldn't really make any sense. And I think the judge would be justified in holding up the sentence because it's kind of murky. She could be charged with murder, but the reality is it's a manslaughter case. It was a reckless thing. She did not follow certain context clues. That's why. I've seen cases where a black man shot 2 officers and got off. Why? Oh, it was a mistake. You guys went to the wrong house. The officers went to the wrong house. You're in my house. I thought I'm shooting you. I'm trying to defend myself, maybe even kill you. But I thought you were breaking in. And they were breaking in. They had gone to the wrong house because somebody in the neighborhood called in a burglary or robbery or something. The police go to the wrong house. The guy's in this house fearing for his life. He shoots at the officers. I think he strikes them, but he gets off with no jail time at all. That's kind of how the law works, because if we're going to say she deserves to get 25 with the L, 40 years or whatever, just throw her away because of that particular accident. What if the shoe's on the other foot and it's you that causes the accident? Okay. Things can happen. Now, granted, the police were the aggressor in the situation with the guy who shot at him, but he got no time at all because it was a mistake. I think they actually ended up paying him, but that's kind of how it goes. So yeah, 10 years, that's appropriate. And I called it because I know how these kind of things work. I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but I study enough to understand how these things are going to operate. People can't really yell racism here because, like I said, the jury was majority minority, 6 blacks, 4 Hispanics, I think 1 white or 2 white and another Asian, maybe, possibly. And the judge was a black female. So you can't really scream racism here. And you're in Texas, you're in Dallas. A lot of minorities there, like 40% Hispanic. You can't really cry racism. It's just a situation that is very unfortunate, and rest in peace to Botham Jean. But we got to just make sure we following the law and being consistent. You got gangbangers that they get off in a very short period of time for doing intentional, purposeful crimes. People get killed, severely injured, paralyzed, human trafficked, whatever. They get off with very light sentences. In this case, it was a clear accident. So you can't give her some football numbers. It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, yeah, see now the red doormat, yes, it was a problem. The red doormat was a problem. That points to her negligence, which is why it should have been manslaughter. You know, it wasn't because the person's house was like right above hers, like directly on the floor above. So it's part of her routine. She gets off of work, you know, parks the car, goes down a little hall to the house, to the apartment, and goes in. That's kind of her routine. She's not paying attention to all the little details, which is the negligence part. You just kind of on autopilot going to your house, basically with your eyes closed, not observing your surroundings. That's called negligence. That's why she got sent to jail. And like I said, it should have been manslaughter. I mean, anybody could call me and debate, but I think the sentence pretty much speaks for itself. And like I said, you had a majority minority jury, a black female judge. I mean, what more can you actually ask for? It's not like back in the days in Alabama where it'd be a black person on trial for sexually assaulting a white woman, and you got 12 white people that don't like blacks, and it just pretty much railroad them. It's not like that, you know, or the other way around, where it's like you give them a real light sentence. Like prime example would be going back to Alabama, and when the Democrats ran it. Let's say you had a white person that was accused of raping a white woman, and you had a jury of all 12 white men that know the guy. It's not like that. This ain't that. This is the opposite of that. Really. These people will most likely have an actual axe to grind, maybe. They'll be more likely to give her a harsher sentence. But when you're presented with the actual laws and say, hey, okay, we're asking you if this happened. We're reading the law to you, did this happen? And you got to answer it honestly. And if you're being honest, you got to be honest. And I think the judge understood what was going on. Now, the house key, apparently his lock was malfunctioning. So it may have already been open. Her key may have worked. Something was wrong with his lock. That's why it was so many things that went wrong. His lock was messed up. She is not knowing where she's going. He's in the house minding his own business. She overreacts. She doesn't render him aid. So many things happened that were wrong in that situation, and it resulted in his death. Okay, 99.9% of it was her fault. None of it was his fault. The only thing that could have been outside of her control was how the door just was able to open. I mean, she didn't boot the door down or anything like that. I think the lock was messed up. That wasn't anybody's fault but whoever is a landlord, I suppose. Yeah, so it was just, it was so many things that went wrong. Numbers on the door, yes, but 50% of the people in that complex said that they have gone to the wrong apartment before. Some have even gone into the wrong apartment because of the way that the numbers are and the way that everything is structured. It looks the exact same. You can easily go to the wrong apartment. 50% of people, half of the complex said that they have gone to the wrong door. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was staying in an apartment, I never did that because everything was clearly labeled and it wasn't this type of weird structure the way they have it. But obviously, it was not just her that had that particular issue. It is what it is. Her keys were in a lock. It probably fit in the lock and where it shouldn't have fit in the lock. You see what I'm saying? It's like she didn't have a key to his house. Some people said that she knew him. She did not know him. The family didn't say anything about that. That was kind of a rumor that was out there. She did not know him. They just happened to be neighbors on different floors. Her apartment was directly, I think, below his. So she just parked on the on a level above that and went and did a normal routine straight to the spot where she would normally go to. But unfortunately, it was in the wrong floor. And that's why she went into his house. Michael Turner says, I understand why you cater to a certain group, but come on, man, you got to not show your bias like that. Hey, man, it's all about law. See, I don't inject my feelings into this situation. It's law. Like, hey, don't get mad at me. You got to holler at the black female judge, okay? The black female judge in Dallas that gave the sentence. Holler at the majority minority jury that found her guilty of whatever it was. Talk to them, don't talk to me. I'm just telling it how it is. I knew it would be 10 years because I understand these things. I think with this up here. I understand. I don't think with emotion. Yeah, she did make racist statements in text. That's correct. But what does that got to do with this? Nothing really. Yeah, 10 years is reasonable. I seen people go to jail for less time than that for killing people that were gangs affiliated. You understand what I'm saying? I know guys that had gotten out in less time than that for gang banging and killing somebody, or somebody ended up dead accidentally through their gang banging. Now, hold on. Somebody says, "Do you believe the lie about the lock? The demon was banging." I mean, you gotta read right. Banging off the door. I don't know what that is. This was from an eyewitness who saw this demon banging on the door. So, did he open the door, or did the key? Because I'm hearing different things. Did he open the door, or did the door open? Was a lock malfunctioning or not? If he's sitting down eating ice cream, how did he go to the door? I'm hearing different things. All I know is that it was an accident. She went to the wrong spot. Yeah, like I said, I said from the beginning. I said in my video 10 to 15. Matter of fact, I said exactly 10. And here it is. So, I mean, anybody can debate me on this, but if you really are thinking logically, you know I'm right. His door was open, or she banged on the door. Which one? Which one is it? Why would you bang on the door if it's open? You see what I'm saying? Either it was locked or it wasn't locked. People are saying different things. So my whole thing is, I'm following the story. I'm listening to what is coming out of the courtroom. I'm just going off of that. I'm not going off of what people are thinking and what they're feeling. Why would she bang on the old door? Exactly. That's right. She had no drugs or drinking in her system. Yeah, she was texting the married man, but again, what does that got to do with it? Well, I would say that the texting distracted her, which goes to negligence, which should have been manslaughter. Banging the door was a rumor, correct. Let me see. You say this case shouldn't have gotten attention, but you're paying a lot of attention. Well, I'm talking about it because it's a hot topic. That's what I do. I'm a news channel. Therefore, I'll talk about things people want to talk about. When you watch MSNBC, CBS, CNN, NBC, they talk about the hot stories of the day. Everybody's covering this story, so I'm going to talk about it and give my 2 cents. I think that it should not have. The only reason why I got so much attention is because of the racial aspect. If it were not for the racial aspect, nobody would care. His family would care, of course, but none of you would care. There was a case that happened in Minnesota where a black male officer shot and killed a white female officer. Do you know her name? I'll wait. I doubt that you do, but you know Botham Jean's name. Now, I don't know her name either. Why? Because it was not a hot story, and there was no point in me covering it because nobody really cared about it. It's simple. I'm looking at it just straight black and white, and that's it. I got compassion for anybody that dies, any innocent person, but when it comes to covering these news stories, let's look at it on the black and white level. Okay? Why are we covering it? It's because it's a popular story right now. People want to talk about it. If it were not for that, I wouldn't be talking about it, period. That's it. Because people die every day. I can't talk about everybody that gets shot and killed every day on here. It's got to be a hot story for me to talk about it. And that's it. There was a rumor about her dating him, but that was a false. That either it was false or it's not been proven. I've not heard that from the family or anything like that. That was just a rumor. It's that's pretty much all it is to it. So we'll talk about that on the calls. I'm gonna get to my next topic on the docket. Hold on right quick. Let me load it up. And thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. Give me a thumbs up on the video. I appreciate that. Also share it. And if you are not subscribed, please do so. I'd appreciate that as well. Did you guys see Trump with the president of Finland having kind of a press conference type of thing? The press, all they want to do is talk about Ukraine and Joe Biden and all this and that. I'm seeing on Twitter, they're talking about, oh, it was a great, the reporter asked great questions, all this and that. And they're saying Trump melted down. But all Trump was saying is like, look, let's stop talking about this situation with Joe Biden all the time. And let's talk about something else. Like, we're here talking to the president of Finland. Ask him a question about something else. You just want to continuously ask me about X, Y, and Z. Okay, matter of fact, hold on. Here's something right here. This came across the wire. Little fly in here. Okay. Let me see. NBC News reports that Hunter Biden met with a Chinese banker while joining then VP Joe Biden's official 2013 trip to China. Hunter Biden was attempting to form a Chinese private equity fund just 10 days after the Chinese authorities issued the fund's business license. All right, here's NBC. This is not Fox or any kind of so-called right-wing conservative conspiracy theory website. This is straight from NBC News. Let's see what he says.
Trip to China getting new. A 2013 trip to China getting new attention this morning, not for what Joe Biden did, but for who he brought with him. His son, Hunter, joining the then vice president on the official visit to Beijing, along with Hunter's daughter, Finnegan. Unknown to the press back then, Hunter Biden was forming a Chinese private equity fund, planning to raise money, including from Chinese investors. Years later, Hunter Biden acknowledged that during the trip, he met with a Chinese banker, which his spokesperson describes as a social visit, not a business one. 10 days after the Biden's trip, Shanghai authorities issued the fund's business license.
All right. So, I mean, we're seeing what's going on with politics, right? People just enriching themselves through kind of weird ways. You're using your influence as a high level figure, as a vice president to get certain things done. See, this is how the swamp operates. They're going to say Hunter is a private citizen, is that, and the third. However, isn't it improper to use your vice president to be kind of like, how can I say, convincing countries to break off some bread? I think it was like a 1.5 billion with a B dollar deal over in China. Plenty more, not more money, but plenty of other cash in Ukraine. All right. Talking about, oh, I never had any kind of business dealings. I never talked to my son about the Ukraine situation. Meanwhile, a picture of them came out on the golf course. Hunter, Joe, and a Ukrainian oil official or gas, natural energy, whatever it is. He was right there on the golf course with them. Now, if you know anything about golf and big money players, you're not on the golf course just not talking. You're going to be talking. That's the whole point. It's a business meeting, basically, on the golf course. You can walk, talk, play a little golf. That's how it goes. That's how these business meetings happen. Simple as that. They posed for a picture in the whole 9 yards. It wasn't like, oh, they caught him with paparazzi. Nah. It was just out in the open. That's kind of how DC operates. But people are just now kind of getting hip to that. They're just regular normies out here in the wild. They don't really understand that's the way it works. But it is what it is. Oh, yeah, Hunter Biden on that cocaine, heavy, 1,000%. And he is a drunk on top of that. So why would you have basically a crackhead and a drunk on the board of a company called Burisma Holdings, which has the largest energy company in Ukraine? Why would he be on the board getting paid $50,000 to $83,000 per month for what? Why? He also has no experience in natural gas, energy, or anything like that at all. So no experience, drunk. What are you doing? Oh, it's because you're the vice president's son and you're selling influence. It's money. That's how money exchanges hands. And don't get it twisted. It's not just Hunter and Joe that has kind of connection. It's the entire swamp. That's how they eat, aside from just being paid their salary on Capitol Hill. That's why people like Maxine Waters and Nancy Pelosi are worth so much money. Okay, Maxine Waters did not get all that money she has, millions of dollars, from just being in Congress. That's not how this thing works. There's all kind of little shady deals and stuff that you are able to get into by having a high position of power. It's very simple. That's why the swamp is so difficult to drain, because it all kind of works together. This big octopus, it got its tentacles and everything, and not just domestic, but also foreign. That's how these things operate. So shout out to Hunter and Joe. Joe might not make it because people are just now realizing how DC is and how Joe was making some money, how he was able to basically enrich his crackhead son off of his influence. And shout out to Bernie Sanders. It's unfortunate that he had a heart condition. Hopefully he's able to be okay and basically, survive. He's an elderly man, 78 years old as of a few weeks ago, September. If he were to be the next president, he would turn 80 years old within his first term in 2021, 80 years old. Now, Trump is not a spring chicken, but he was 70 years old when he got elected, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, let me know. 70 versus 80 is a big difference, especially when you just had a heart procedure. He has canceled all of his upcoming appearances and whatever. He's canceled all of that stuff, and he has no notice upon which he'll return. That lets me know that he'll probably not return because he cannot return. So if there's no Bernie Sanders, who's next? Joe Biden about to also fall off because of the whole Ukraine kerfuffle and the China kerfuffle and his actual performance out there on the campaign trail, looking like he's half dead himself. So no Bernie. Joe's on the way out. Pocahontas, the establishment people don't want her because she's anti-business. Mark Zuckerberg says, hey, if she becomes a president, we're going to go to war and quote unquote take it to the mat. You understand? Some UFC elbow action going on. You did what I'm saying? So she will not be the favorite to become the front runner, although she will be by default coming up here within the next, day or two. So if it's not her, then who? They're talking about bringing back Hillary Clinton, digging her up from the crypt and, plopping her out there in the campaign trail. Maybe they can get a little bit of traction with her, although she pretty much limped across the finish line and fell on her face last time. If you were looking like that in your late 60s, how are you going to be better in your early 70s? It doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe when you are a younger person, you're able to improve as the years progress, once you get to your quote-unquote prime. But Hillary was pretty much on a downstroke last time, and it's not going to just jump up and become better this time. You're going to hear that crazy coughing again. You're going to see the eyes going all over the place. You're going to see the weird movements. You're going to see all that stuff carbon right on back. Who else is out there? They don't have anybody. Trump just raised, not only Trump, but also the RNC. They raised $125 million in the third quarter. And 2 days after the impeachment announcement, they raised $15 million in 2 days. The RNC and Trump's campaign. That's more than everybody on the left combined in the same quarter. Probably times two, but definitely more than all of them combined. Pocahontas had 19 million or 30 million, some number that was okay, but nowhere near $125. How are they going to compete with that? With candidates that are either sick or unable to grasp people that you need to grasp in order to get money. If you can't get money, how are you going to beat Trump? Trump had half of the money that Hillary Clinton had, yet he was able to be successful. So if you have double the money that anybody else on the left has as Trump and you're the incumbent, how can you lose? Election interference, that's what the Democrats want to do by not having voter ID and stuff like that, but I digress. It's going to be interesting to see what they do coming up here pretty soon. And thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. We got 620 live in the building. You guys, please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Is the audio good? Hopefully, because somebody said that the audio was messing up. Everything should be fine. Yep. So I cover, corn pop. You know what? I believe that corn pop story, but the problem is that it was just really weird for him to say that. Like, why would you even bring the corn pop story up? What was the context of? What context made it appropriate to even talk about that? Like, why? Why do I need to know about corn pop? Like, I don't care that you had some kind of valiant effort to overtake. I don't even know what you was doing. It was really weird. Yes, y'all in law, $125 million in 3 months. $125. in 3 months, more than anybody on the left combined. Oh, we gotta talk about the the fake hate crimes. I want to add more to my video that I did the other day about the young lady, the little girl, Amari Allen, and the fake hate crime. Now, I'm watching different people's videos. I saw Lucas's video on it. I saw Lovely T. I saw other videos about the situation. And I think what happened was the little girl just was insecure about how she looks personally and wanted to cut her dreads off. Maybe she wanted something to look a little bit more girly because her dreads were kind of nappy. I'm thinking like Florida drug dealing rapper. You understand what I'm saying? Like the kind of guy that would have gold teeth in his mouth that's crooked. That type of dude would be the kind of guy that would have her dreads. I'm not joking on the little girl. I'm just saying that's probably how she felt. So she probably was like, look, I'm tired of these dreads. I want to look pretty. I want to look more girly. Therefore, I'm going to go ahead and cut them off. And probably her mom or her grandma saw that some of the dreads were cut off one day. You know, like she might have been in the bathroom with scissors, cutting the dreads. And then her mom barges in. She puts them away. And then, you know, she makes up a whole story about, oh, I got jumped in school. Well, who jumped you? All these white boys who said my hair was nappy and ugly. You know, that's probably what happened. And the reason why she was crying on TV is because she got way too deep. Now you got the news cameras coming around. Now I'm all over the television everywhere. Now I'm a meme. Now the whole world knows my name. And I didn't even want that. I just wanted to look more pretty as a little girl. So I don't really blame the little girl. I blame the environment that the media has created, maybe even her parents. Maybe not her parents. Maybe they didn't put her up to this, but I feel like it's their environment. When you blame the white man for everything, when you blame racism for everything, people just assume it's a safe out. I can say it was racism that did it, and I won't get in trouble. I won't have to, you know, face any kind of penalty. They'll just give me pity. Little girls want attention, and they also want to be pretty. So she can kill two birds with one stone. I can cut my dreads and get it like a prettier hairdo. At the same time, I can get some attention from this story over here, and then I won't get in trouble. But, you know, a little girl thinking is not thinking logically. You know, that's why you can't have kids voting, but I digress. So then here comes the news cameras and everything else, and she's like, all right, what did I actually do? How did I get myself into this? The adults are who I blame for this situation. People like Juicy Smollett and anybody out there talking about white man this, white man that, blaming, you know, anybody like that I blame. Because the kids, they are basically soaking up what they see. So did she do something wrong? Of course. But I think there's more to the story. I think it's about the adults that were around her and the media itself. That's pretty much where I'm with it. Hey, she might want that weave. She might want that weave because she's not liking them Miami dope boy dreads that she got. Simple as that. She understand, like her parents or her grandparents probably got them same dreads and they think it looks good, but she doesn't. And she doesn't know how to really articulate that. You know, that's really what it is. But I knew from the beginning that it was fake. I knew straight from the jump. To say white boys call her dreads nappy and ugly, white boys do not talk like that, okay? That's something that black girls would say. A group of black girls would jump you and say, your dreads ugly, your dreads nappy. White boys are not going to even know what that means, let alone talk like that. Matter of fact, men don't talk like that. Men are not going to be commenting on the beauty of your hair and the particular nature of it. That's just not a thing that men do, especially not white boys who don't even understand what that means because they don't have quote unquote nappy hair. So why would they know what that word even means? It doesn't make any sense. So I knew it was fake from the beginning. But like I said, it's all about just the adults in a situation that are most likely around her, and also the media pumping this narrative that white man bad, orange man bad, blame the white man is a get out of jail free card. But she gonna learn today that that is not the case anymore. And hopefully she does not do this anymore. It's definitely a lesson learned. You know, you get embarrassed on, you know, in front of the whole world. I think that's pretty much enough for a little kid to have happen to them. If it were an adult, if it were like a Juicy Smollett, I would say, yo, you need to get locked up. Because Juicy Smollett, you know, a fake hate crime, was trying to incite a whole city, maybe even the whole nation. that right there, that's a whole different ball of wax. That's like yelling fire in a movie theater, in my humble opinion. But I'll just put that on pause for now. Shout out to SOBC. He says, I'm a man. I think Stacey Abrams has very bad hair. Yeah, hey, I mean, I might even agree with you, but I think that we are not going to really be commenting on the particulars of it, like the intricacies, like, oh, she has type AE or whatever kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to be doing that. Men don't really do that. That's pretty much what it is. All we know is that the hair looks good or it doesn't. We don't really talk about the particulars of it. Yeah, she's a little kid. I mean, she's a little kid. Maybe get suspended or something, but not to the point where it's like, you know, you're going to be branded with a scarlet letter forever. That's not the case. I think she learned a lesson, really. I think what happened to her was enough of a punishment, in my humble opinion. Recognized Game says, ABL, you're an effing clown. LOL, please let me call in. Hey, when I open the calls, you can call in. But hey, man, I can already tell you're going to get embarrassed. So I'm just warning you right now, man. It's nothing personal if you get embarrassed on the line. So don't call the police on me for getting embarrassed. That's all I got to say about it. And we got some events coming up tomorrow. This time tomorrow, I'll be in D.C. for the Young Black Leadership Summit in Washington, D.C., put on by Turning Point USA. It's going to be a fantastic event. We're going to the White House on Friday. We did the same thing last year, went to the White House. The media didn't know what to do. The media were like really kind of in the weird space. It's like the media kind of took it took their mask off and showed who they really were. They have on this fake mask that most of us can see through that paints them as something else, you know, tolerant and loving, all this, that, and the third. But when we were in that White House, all that went away. Have you ever seen the movie Hostel? It's kind of a deep comparison, or kind of an obscure comparison. But in that movie Hostel, when the tourists first got to, I think, Russia or somewhere, they went to this hostel, this hotel. It's kind of like open air hotel. The women seemed so pretty and nice and inviting, all this, that, and the third. But as they were staying around the area for a little while longer, the women did not have on the makeup. They didn't have the smiles on their faces anymore. Like at that point, I knew, okay, something, this ain't what I thought. The mask is gone. Now I see the reality of the whole situation. I know what the reality is, but not having to see them make a transformation, but they did transform. They went from being so tolerant and loving of black folks talking about, oh, they made a mockery at the East Room. I thought it was a Trump rally. I thought they were going to smoke weed in there. All kind of stuff about us because we're black conservatives having a good time, enjoying the president's speech, enjoying our time in D.C., all that kind of stuff. Had it been conservative young blacks, none of that would have been on. They would have said, oh, this is so nice. This is beautiful, beautiful gathering. But because we're conservative, all that nice stuff went totally away. And I would see that all the time when I was making my transition from from liberal to conservative. I would see it all the time. I was like, oh, okay, I see what's really going on here. I see the facade is gone now. I see who you really are. But anyway, we're going to have a great time. The media is going to make the transformation again. It's going to be hilarious to see. I'm going to take a lot of different video. I have a surprise for you guys. I don't even want to really say what it is, but it's going to be a new way to film. Man on the street type stuff. And you'll see how I have it. It's going to be something that I've not done before. So that's what we got going on. Also, next week, I will be in Miami, Florida for the American Priority Conference and Festival. That'll be at Trump Doral, and that'll be from October the 10th through the 12th. That's going to be fantastic. We got Dinesh D'Souza coming through, Charlie Kirk. Who else we got? We got Donald Trump Jr. We got a crazy lineup of people. So many people are going to be there. It's going to be wild. And I can't wait to be there. I'll be there as a journalist covering it. So I'll probably do my man on the street interviews. I'm going to try to get everybody on their interview, anybody that I can. You know, I think I'll be in a special meet and greet with Trump Jr. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be all over the place doing a lot of different things. So you're going to see kind of different content on there. The first event is going to be starting tomorrow. That'll be October the 3rd through the 5th. And that'll be the Young Black Leadership Summit in Washington, D.C. On Friday, we're going to the White House right around 4:30 p.m. And I will be trying to stream that as much as I can. And then the next event will be from October the 10th through the 12th. That'll be next week in Miami, Florida. And then at the end of the month, I'll be at Politicon in Nashville. That'll be October 26th and October 27th. So if you are in Nashville, that area, South Florida, Miami, or in the DC Metro or DC itself, hey, you probably see me around. Come on out to whatever we got going on for public and, just enjoy it. All right. So did I get everything? I think I got everything. Super chats I got to read right quick, and then we get to the calls in a little while. And, I saw some trolls in here earlier talking about they want to call in, but the trolls never, ever call in. They always talk about, oh, you are a coon, ABL. I'm going to call in and wreck you, but they never do. But anyway, thank you to Triangle Whip for the donation. I definitely appreciate you. Matter of fact, it's 2 donations. Thank you for that. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you to Mike from Queens who says AG needs to open more investigations towards the left. Oh, yeah. This whole thing with Hunter and Joe, the tip of the iceberg, man. There's plenty more out there. But thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to BDB who says like, share, and don't forget the tip the barkeep. Serving intellectual analysis all night long. Hey, I thank you for that. And your very kind words. I definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Terry Friday for your donation. I appreciate it. Thank you to Cool Hooser who says prosecute Biden's and Amber need 20 years. Hey, thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Chris Anderson for your donation. I appreciate you. Thank you to Peter Bills who says your phone number must be blocked. Well, the phones are not on right now. The phones be on a little bit. The phone number does work. It's just not on right now. That's a Skype number. But thank you to Stacy Felice for your donation. I appreciate it. Shout out to Christy Irwin who says Texas loves ABL. Keep up the great work. Heart emoji. Thank you for that. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Stymie who says ABL. We don't know. We weren't there talking about the Botham Jean tragedy. But thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Marco Grande who says, will R. Kelly get some hugs from the judge? I don't think so. R. Kelly is a stone cold predator who intentionally has, kept little girls captive and whatnot, was married to Aaliyah and all that kind of good stuff when he was 27 and she was 15. But I digress. Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. And shout out to Matthew Richardson who says qualified immunity is on trial in this case. I'm not even sure what that is. I'm going to look into it, but thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. And shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are great. I thank you all for being here. All right. Is the chat going too fast or is it straight? If it's too fast, I'm going to slow it down. Because when I see it is when I'm off of the screen for a while and it kind of catches up a little bit. Have I ever watched Black Conservative Patriot, a.k.a. BCP? Yes, I have. Shout out to BCP. What's going on, Chandler? I see you, man. I see you tomorrow as well at the BLS. Jamar Smith says this channel is boring. Jamar Smith says I'm boring, but he's been here for 45 minutes. Ain't that something? How are you on a channel for 45 minutes and you're bored? What's going on with your life, sir? Tighten up a little bit. How about that? Shout out to Get a Job. I see you in the chat, boss. Hey, I'm telling you, your compilations of JLP, just fantastic, man. Thank you for joining the chat tonight, man. I appreciate you. Have I seen the MAGA challenge? Yes, I have. I have seen it. They say I need to put some bars in there, but I cannot rap. I cannot rap, so that's not even really my whole wave. But I have seen that. All right, let me put the slow mode on, but it won't be a real bad slow mode. It'll just be kind of a little one. Let me do like 15 seconds. You going to Ant Fest too? All right, Chandler. I see you at both, man. And you all over the place. I saw you with Brandon Strock. I think that's his name. Walk Away. Then you come into BLS. Then you go into Amp in Miami. I love it, man. Okay, let me see. Am I familiar with the treaty Ukraine on mutual legal assistance with criminal matters? I don't know about that. I don't know about it at all. Let me see. Hey, if anybody wants to have me come out to wherever they are, just let me know. Just send me email. If you could fly me out and do all that, give me a hotel. We can work something out. That's all I need. But I got to be able to, get compensated because I got to be able to work. Okay. Thank you to Mike Tyson. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get to the calls because I know a lot of you guys want to get on the calls and talk. The trolls, I doubt. Well, I don't want to say trolls. I don't want to be biased. The people that have dissenting points of view, I should say that. I doubt they're actually going to call in. And that's not really going to happen. You know, as I can see who tried to call in before I opened the actual phone line, and I don't see any of the trolls. Yeah, Politicon is not like a conservative thing. Politicon is a how can I say? Politicon is a left and a right thing. People like James Comey are going to be there, so it's not, AmpFest is more about us. Politicon's more about everybody. But I'm gonna go to both because I want to be able to network and meet everybody, and I want to have people see me in person, live in the flesh, and see how things are versus on Twitter and stuff like that. Because I can get into a little Twitter war with you all day, but that doesn't really, it doesn't really translate in person when people get to see each other. Normally, that's not how it works. WrestleMania, is that how it's going to be a Politicon Uber guy? It could be. All right, let me get to, let me just tighten up my situation over here. All right, Matt, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, how's it going?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, sorry for my squeaky chair. Hey, qualified immunity is the immunity, it's a legal doctrine where we give police certain immunity to liability. And an example of that might be a police officer can speed to catch someone that's speeding.
Yeah.
And so, and qualified immunity has with operating in good faith versus bad faith. So, I didn't follow her trial or the incidents too much, but it seems like maybe she just wasn't very good at her job. But qualified immunity sort of comes into play as long as that her intent was the right intent and that she was operating in her the formal capacity of being a police officer.
Well, no, she was off duty.
Oh, she was off duty?
Yeah, like she had just gotten off and she was going home after the shift.
Oh, yeah, that changes everything.
Yeah.
Disregard. Hey, I live in a small Seattle suburb, like I told you, and we've had fake hate crimes out here, 3 of them in 1 year that I had counted, and we had a real hate crime, and it was actually ignored.
That's how it goes because you got so many things that are fake, so many little boy cried wolf type things that are going on. When an actual hate crime happens, it's like nobody cares. Nobody even pays it any mind. They're thinking that it's fake too.
Yeah, we had a kid that was, and I'm gonna say not use anybody's names or anything. I hate that this girl's name is in the news. Actually, the one with the dreadlocks, it makes me cringe. But we had a kid that was late for soccer practice, and he said that the police pulled him over, or for walking while black. That ended up being fake. We had a noose that was found over Halloween on a construction site, and the FBI was called and all that. We had another incident at a bar that ended up being fake too. That was supposedly racial bias, but it really wasn't. But we actually had an immigrant that was beat up by a homeless man, and they completely ignored it. The reason, an African immigrant, but the reason they ignored it was because a homeless man beat him up, and they didn't want it in the news because it would have caused prejudice against homeless people.
Wow, that's one of those weird things because you're talking about all these different little protected groups. It's like who takes precedent over who? Okay, you got an African, so you got a black man, and an immigrant. So that's 2 right there. But the homeless person, I guess, took precedent over the black immigrant. That's interesting how that works.
It did, yeah. There is a pecking order. I mean, there's maybe to your point, there's a gold medal, there's a silver medal, and a bronze in the Victim Olympics. A real African immigrant, obviously. He tried, but he couldn't beat the homeless person. So, and then the other one that I want to talk to you. There's a word. It's called pedophrasty. And I sent you a message about that. Have you ever heard of this word?
No, I haven't.
To read the dictionary definition of it is interesting. I can't get my damn mouse to work here, but pedophrasty, an argument involving children to prop up a rationalization and make the opponent look like a bad person, as people are defenseless and suspend all criticism in front of suffering children. It's a word that's been around a while, and anything with pedo in it, I think carries a certain connotation. But when you see people use kids for politics, that's precisely what the word is designed to do and mean. And I hope more people would start saying it, because it really is deplorable.
Right.
To use kids like this. And that girl with the dreadlock, her name is ruined for life.
That's really unfortunate too, because I feel like there's an adult influence that's making that be the case.
What you said about her cutting them and then trying to make up a story, that really sounded a lot like the kid late for soccer and just sort of had to come up with something extemporaneous, right out of the gate.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah. Hey, that's all I got for you. Thanks for running a great show.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, take it easy.
All right, no problem. All right. For some reason, my sound is not really. Hold on, I gotta fix the ring. You guys didn't hear that ring after my man Matt hung up. And shout out to my man Matt for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. I'm gonna get to some more calls here in just a minute. You guys hang tight. Let me just tighten up my speakers over here. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, let's get to. All right. Hold on. Okay. All right, Jordan, what's happening?
Nothing much, ABL. Can you hear me?
I hear you well.
All right, how's everything?
Everything's great, man. Can't complain.
That's good. Hey, you know about the whole New York City thing, yeah?
What happened there?
They banned the whole, you can't call someone an illegal alien or you might be fined.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And, it was funny because they were like giving examples. And, one thing that kind of stood out to me was you can't threaten to call ICE on somebody.
Yeah.
I was like, what? It's like, okay, if somebody's illegal, then, that's not my fault that they're illegal. Like, how about they don't break the law and everything will be fine? That's like threatening. Yeah. That's like threatening to call the police on somebody that you just saw steal some candy from the store. It's like, how about you don't steal, don't break the law, and then you won't get the police called on you.
Pretty much. Well, some people have made the argument that normal citizens, good citizens, don't threaten to call ICE. They just call ICE.
What's the difference? Yeah. Like either you're gonna do it or you ain't gonna do it. If I say I'm gonna do it and I do it, then I just don't. The whole thing is just silly. That's just Bill de Blasio's New York, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, and it really goes to show, because what's worse is that you can actually get damages for in case you get called an illegal alien or something. So there were these, I think back in early September, there was a landlord who told these one of his tenants to go back to his country because he wasn't paying his rent. And the Civil Rights Commission caught that, and the landlord had to pay $5,000 fine plus $12,000 in damages.
Wow, $12,000?
Yeah, $12,000.
Wow.
This was reported by the Wall Street Journal. So
that's crazy.
People would think I was BSing. There you go. But one more thing I want to mention about it. Brandon Tatum made this good point. If you get called the N-word up in New York City, there's no fine or anything like that.
No fine, no penalty, no go to jail, no damages, no lawsuits, nothing. You could just say that and it's all good. But the same people who would be ready to kill you for using the N-word will go out here and defend this new law that says you can't call somebody an illegal immigrant without getting a crazy hefty fine on your back. That's crazy, but it is what it is.
Exactly. Look at what New York City and Bill de Blasio has done for illegal aliens, and then look what it's done for American citizens of any color. Just that's how bad it is.
That's right.
But the next topic, because I might not talk about what you have here, I'll leave that to other guests. But Harvard, so Judge Burroughs, that's what her name is, who was also the judge who put a temporary ban on Donald Trump's travel ban. She declared that Harvard's affirmative action admissions were not discriminatory.
Like, how can it not be? It's like affirmative action is discriminatory by nature. That's the whole point. Like, you have to allow some to get in at the expense of others that probably would get in.
Yeah, but that's the thing. She rationalized this in the weirdest way possible. I mean, you can look this up, and I encourage chat to do it too. But she rationalized it this way. She said we wanted to do this so that we can have a diverse campus in order to end racism. So it's pretzel logic. So in other words, we need racism to end racism.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like, come on. That's like saying that if you're on drugs, like let's say you smoke crack, I'm gonna give you some more crack so you get off. It's like we kind of going around in circles. We're not solving the problem. We still are on crack here. So if you're coming out with more racism, I mean, you're just kind of shifting the issue from one kind of racism to a different kind of racism. At the end of the day, it's all racism. So it's just silly to even do that.
Exactly. I mean, she was just saying that Harvard was saying that if you did it merit based, if they did college admissions based off of merit, nearly half of their students would be Asian American. And so because of this whole affirmative action thing, that half has now split. But then they want to say it's a good thing because, we've accepted more, it'd be like 20-something% more Asians than usual. And I'm like, don't downplay the issue. The point is that you're trying to justify racism by saying that it would end non-racism. It's just silly.
Yeah, it is. It's silly.
Yeah. But that's what these liberal judges do. It's a real shame what the judicial system has come to when you have these types of people in control. And speaking of which, also from Harvard, there was a Harvard law professor who said that Donald Trump's tweet about civil war could constitute impeachment.
I mean, like anything that Trump does at this particular point in time can be impeachable. They've been trying to impeach Trump before he even got elected. It's like, how you going to impeach a man who's not even in office yet? Like, that's pretty much sums up the mentality of the list at this particular point. Anything he does or says or maybe thinks about saying or doing is impeachable in their eyes.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty desperate at this point if they're going to say that, considering that what he said was not actually a threat of war, just a warning that it could happen. That's the thing. People like to conflate warnings with threats a lot, and it murkies the waters, and it's getting irritating. That's got to stop.
Right.
And as a last note before I head on, because I know you got more people coming in, there is a little bit of confusion on the whole OK sign that's been going around, because just recently a mascot who worked in I believe not Disneyland, there was a mascot dressed up as one of those Despicable Me guys, Gru. Yeah. That guy, he was taking a picture and did like this while hugging. He did this while hugging a little mixed girl, and they took a photo, and people made a big deal about that, and they fired him for it.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some misconception about the whole OK sign. It wasn't. I don't believe that white supremacists, or whoever they refer to as white supremacists, got tagged along with like people on 4chan about the whole OK thing. I think that 4chan created this just to screw with the public because they know the public is gullible in many ways.
Correct.
And because they're perceived as neo-Nazis and white supremacists, they end up, people now consider it as a white supremacist symbol, even though it's nothing more than a prank or a troll or a way to troll people. And then later on, maybe not, white supremacists pick it up. That's why you had one of the murderers hold that sign when he was being sent off to jail. But it's not the other way around. It's not that these people co-opted the trolls. It's that the trolls were already seen as said figures, and then they decided to make the OK sign into a symbol of white supremacy. That's pretty much what's happening.
Yeah,
so that
it's crazy.
Yeah, that confusion has to be addressed, because I hate that people are saying that white supremacists co-opt that thing when it was all just a prank. It's been a prank, and it's always been a prank. But then when people saw people like Stephen Miller and Trump and all these other people in the Trump administration do it, these people who were already seen as white supremacists, they just concluded that it was a sign of white supremacy. It's just dumb.
Right.
But I'm gonna head on out, so I got to do some stuff. So I'll chat with you later, ABL.
All right, thank you for the call as always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right, thanks, my man Jordan, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him, and thank you all for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And what else we got? Oh, if you're just not coming into the stream, welcome, and get a video a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it if you did that. That'll help me out tremendously. And what else we got? Oh, Jamar's still here. Jamar said that the chat was boring, but he's been here for an hour. It must be that's a crazy kind of boring right there. Let me get to my next call. All right, Chandler, what's going on?
Hey, ABL, can you hear me all right?
I hear you well.
Okay. I just wanted to let you people know I'm super excited to see you at BLS. I'll be at BLS as well. I don't know how often you check my channel, but I was at Turning Point's previous summit, TSAS, and I did a little vlogging there. And so I'm going to be doing a little bit of vlogging at BLS, and so I hope I can meet up with you and get you on the vlog a little. I really look forward to seeing you there. I also look forward to seeing you at AMP Fest. I noticed that you got announced a couple weeks back, and that was crazy. They reached out to me. They wanted to have me down there as well. And so I think that's great that they're reaching out to a lot of different people, young people like myself, to get down there. And I really hope to see you there as well.
Oh, I'll definitely be there, man. And you're everywhere. Yeah. You were at TSAS. Now you're going to BLS. How are you able to travel so much and still, be getting your education, because you're still in school, right?
Yes, I am still in school. We're making it work over here. It's not easy, but I really love going to events because there's never much of a young presence at non-Turning Point events, or when there's Turning Point events, you don't have that many young people there. And so that's why I like showing up and saying, hey, we're here. And my hope is that me being out there, and like eventually when people start to learn more and more about me, there will be other kids out in the country, and that eventually, if I wasn't there, or if they didn't get inspired by the things I did or the things that other people like me did, other people my age did, that they'd eventually go to the left and just follow the whole millennial paradigm. But I think that me and a few others can really come out here and say, hey, this is what you can do. You can think like this. You can live your life without having to go the same way that everybody else does. You don't have to follow the same ideals that everyone else says you have to. And I think if I'm out there and if I'm doing that, and if others are doing that as well, that we can really inspire this generation to really be a good generation, a traditional generation, a generation that will move the country forward without changing the things that make our country our country.
Oh, 100% correct. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if anybody doesn't know, in the chat, I have on the line with me Chandler Crump. Chandler, they're asking how old you are in the chat.
I turned 15 a couple weeks ago, actually. About 15 days ago or so. I just turned 15. I started doing this last year at YBLS, right after YBLS. I was 14 then, but yeah, I just turned 15.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you had a September birthday, right?
Yeah, September birthday.
Yeah, so I was September 22nd, so I turned 35. I'm a little bit older than you, but it's all right.
A little, just a smidge.
Just a smidge. So, what else you got going on? You got some events coming up that I'll be at. What else? Are you doing things locally? Like, how are you? Talk about that right quick.
So I like to travel around my state and go to some of the events that are going on there as well. I went to you mentioned it earlier. I was at the Walk Away thing with Brandon Strzok. That was at the Black Americans Town Hall in Atlanta. I'm waiting for that video to come out so everybody else can see it. But it was a really great event, packed house, amazing things. We had Terrence K. Williams. We had a few other people on there, and of course Brandon Strzok. YG Nightstorm was great. You'll see it when it comes out. I think you'll see it on the Walk Away YouTube channel and all that. It was a really great event, and after that, I definitely want to go to some more events in Georgia. But I like going to Blexit events as well. Sometimes they're not that close to me, but I think there's one that's going to be coming to Atlanta really soon. It might conflict with Politicon though, because you said October 26th to 27th.
It is going to conflict with so yeah,
Okay, yeah,
that's going to be a
okay.
problem. Yeah, because it'll be that
Yeah,
same weekend, I
okay,
think.
yeah. Those are just some rumors, though. I haven't had any concrete evidence yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to be going on with Blexit. I'd love to go to some of the other Turning Point events. I really love their events. I hope to speak at one someday, but I think I might have to wait until I'm older for that. But I think if I can get in on this young, I can inspire other people. Because when you get in on young, there's a difference between what people like me or C.J. Peterson or others are doing in comparison to what Greta Thunberg's doing. Because we're thinking for ourselves, and sure, we make probably just as many, if not more, maybe if less. I hope less mistakes than Greta Thunberg or others like her do, but. There's nothing wrong with being young and being into politics and being there to make things happen. It's not child abuse, whatever, unless, it actually is child abuse. And in some cases, like with Greta Thunberg, it may very well be. There's that picture with her in the Antifa shirts with her parents, but that's a whole nother story. What I'm saying is that there's nothing wrong with being young and in the game, if you know what I mean, because it gives you more time to really learn. It's like fine wine. It's like a wine aging. I don't really know much about wine or whatever it is, but I do know that it ages, and when it ages, it gets better. And so I think the longer you're in it, the more time you have to soak up that kind of intellectual. Sorry, I bumped the mic, but intellectual residue, and that allows you to have a more thought out political ideology, more thought out political philosophy when you're older, and that can lead to better leadership, better lifestyle choices, better voting choices. It really all around, it will improve your community in the long run.
Oh, definitely. And I'm
Yeah.
seeing that a lot, like the kids getting into it at a younger age.
Mm-hmm.
That gives them more time to become more educated in it. Because when I was
Yes.
your age, I had no idea about politics.
Yeah.
I didn't really get into it until I got to be like really in my mid-20s. So you have a definite head start, and that can be definitely working to your advantage. Maybe you can get into politics one day. Do you want to do that? Do you want to get into like the Capitol Hill type thing, or you want to do something else once you get to be older?
I haven't really decided yet. I do like the idea of being there and actually having the power to make the changes that I want to influence my generation to have the power to make later on. But there's always different things that can happen. But I won't be quitting anytime soon what I'm doing now. I like what I do. I like what I do.
Definitely, man. Well,
Yeah.
tell everybody how to get in contact with you, man.
So you can follow me on Instagram at chandler.crump, although I don't know how many of your viewers have Instagram, but if you do, just chandler.crump. You can follow me on Twitter at realccrump. Mainly, though, you should check out my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Chandler Crump. I do all sorts of political videos. Like I said at the beginning of this, or at the beginning of my call, I will be vlogging BLS. So all the people that can't quite show up to BLS, you can't make it, or you didn't have the availability to go, I'll be vlogging it. I'll get as much of the event covered as I can without having to get a press pass. But I'll vlog all of it if I can. Vlog me getting there, some of the people I meet there, some of the speakers, all that good stuff, so that if you couldn't quite make it, you can still be there in spirit. So that's what I want to do.
All right, man. Sounds good. Chandler Crump, thank you for joining me, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. You know how to get to me if you ever want to have me again, right here on Skype, or you can DM me on Twitter as well. If you ever want to have me on again, I'd love to be on again. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, no problem. Peace.
Peace.
All right. Thank you, Chandler, for the call. Hey, it really makes me feel real good. And when the young guys and girls are into politics, it feels great. And we'll be seeing Chandler, like he said, at BLS coming up tomorrow. Also at what's that? AmpFest coming up in Miami, and also Politicon. At BLS, the major point of BLS is to get a lot of the young people, a lot of college kids and maybe even late high school, but definitely college, to get a lot of them on board with the whole conservative movement, and to kind of got them in the right direction. A lot of kids are just trying to find themselves and not really all the way there, or they're just looking to, get more into it. They're interested, they like it, they want to get more into it. So a lot of us are there just kind of steer them in the right direction. So it's going to be great to be around everybody, the kids, and also people that's like right around my age or a little bit younger or even a little bit older. I saw people from all walks of life, all different ages, but I think the core group is going to be the college kid crowd that can really start to move and shake and make a difference in the world. So yeah, we got that coming up tomorrow. Young Black Leadership Summit in Washington, D.C. Look out for more content from that. Let me get to the next call. 916 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. I'm doing a call-in.
All right, caller. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, this is Adrienne Bowman. You are the man.
I
Thank
appreciate.
you for taking my call. I really appreciate what you do.
Oh, it's no problem. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, and enjoy Washington D.C. And I'll be looking so much forward to you guys getting footage. Way to have little man Crump on there, Uber guy, Candace. Y'all rock it.
I appreciate that. We're definitely going to do it. A lot of interviews, a lot of good content. You're going to see all that good stuff on all of our channels coming up.
Yeah, and I love your analysis. Keep up the good work, bro.
Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you.
Much. All right, love. One love to you, love. Keep doing what you do. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. I appreciate that. Thank you for the very kind words. I most certainly appreciate it. Let me get to the next call here. 407, you're the line. I'm speaker 2. Turn speakers on the background for me, please.
Right, hold on just a second. Let me get shut off. Hey, how's it going?
Everything's great. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm so happy that I got through to you finally. I think I called 20 times. Well, I didn't really want to hit on any specific topics you guys were talking about, but, I just wanted to kind of give a quick rundown on maybe how I came to my awakening. I was really not a political guy whatsoever, and I'm in my mid-40s now, but something came along this last election cycle, and, I was watching the news or whatever, and I just started noticing that the stories that they were telling that people were doing and stuff just did not make sense. You could just tell that the stories they were talking about, I was thinking to myself, people don't do that. People don't act like that. These stories can't be for real. And
right.
that kind of steered me away from all that stuff. And I started looking at different news channels, and they started doing all the same things. It seemed like it all happened, like week by week. They were just doing it all right after each other. So that got me to the point where I just turned off the TV altogether.
Now, I hear you 100% because when you keep seeing the same thing happening over and over again, you're not feeling it. It's not right. It's like, all right, I'm pretty much done with the TV altogether. I'm going to go do something else with my time because this is a waste of my time.
Yeah, and you could tell that the stories were manufactured because if you know anything about human nature, you could tell that people, don't act like that. People don't do those things. What's going on?
That's right.
Yeah, and it's funny because over time, on the YouTube channels, you got the truth channels that came out, and they started to pick up speed, and before too long there was a whole bunch of them or whatever. But here recently I just discovered that most of my favorite YouTube channels, they're black fellas. And I'm super happy that you can see that all different races are really starting to wake up to the programming stuff and realizing that things are not the way that they say they are on the television.
Right, exactly, 100%. I mean, we just coming up with just real talk, straightforward, just in a common sense kind of way that people can understand. So that's what we're just here doing it, doing our best. Yeah, and I mean, a rundown of some of my favorite YouTuber guys. You got you, of course, which I really enjoy, and you got Jericho Green, and shoot. Oh, man, there's just so many of you guys. You got the Uber guy, of course, and Lionel Harris. He's pretty funny. And one of the cats that I first started listening to was Mr. Hassan Campbell up in New York. I was wondering if you knew who he was. I know who he is,
Yeah, is he doing okay? I haven't heard much from him lately.
Well, he had a little bit of an issue with the whole doxing, the swatting situation, but I think he's okay. I think he'll be okay after that. But yeah, that was pretty scary when that happened. But I've been through that myself, so I understand.
Yeah. I didn't like any of that stuff. Yeah, and it's funny because it's not funny at all, but the liberals and the mouthpieces that are trying to spread all this hate, it's a shame because they have access to all the mainstream media outlets, and it fools people into believing that it's most of the nation that feels this way or whatever, but it's just a small group of people that have the loudest voices on all these huge platforms.
That's right.
Yeah. And oh man, and I just caught a little bit of the interview with the young black girl about the dreadlocks or whatever, and I feel so bad for her. You can see in her face and mannerisms that something's just not right at home, or maybe she's been, told something not quite right or whatever. And I was just thinking that'd be great if, like in the chat group that you have or whatever, if like an invite could be sent out to her to join, like a well-encompassing and well-inviting, sector of the population, so she could, catch a glimpse of, what it's like for, all races of kind-hearted, good, gentle people to come together and have a good time and have some laughs and, no hard feelings and no, just no craziness, because that's what it needs to be all about. It's just everybody coming together and having a good time and loving each other and appreciating each other's differences and,
Definitely, man. 100%.
Right on. Well, I know you got other callers, and it kind of caught me off guard that I finally got through or whatever, but there's just so much on my mind about what to talk about, but I truly appreciate your platform. And like I said, I enjoy you and Uber Guy, Jericho Green, Kevin's Corner. I enjoy listening to all you guys. So I really appreciate what you're doing, and I love all you guys.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Well, you and everybody in the chat have a fantastic week at work, and I hope everybody stays safe and happy, and love on your family, love your neighbors, and no matter how much of a pain in the butt they may be, but yeah, just be nice to everybody, spread love, and it'll show everybody, even the most staunch people that believe everything on NBC, maybe it'll open up their mind to look at things a different light when they just keep getting treated kind by everybody.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Thank you for that. I appreciate your call.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.
Same to you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him for calling on in. And you guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me see. Let me get to the next caller here. All right. 704, you're on the line. I'm speaking to. Turn your speakers on the background for me, please.
Well, hello.
Yes.
I'll turn that off for you now.
All righty.
Hello. My name is Dalton Nelson, and I'd like to say that I just actually subscribed to you last week, and I'm glad that I've seen you around YouTube a lot, but I'm glad that I finally got a chance to subscribe.
Well, hey, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here.
Well, thank you. So I'd just like to talk about the Amber Guyger situation. I think that you're one of the very few conservatives that actually I agree with, because there's a lot of conservatives I saw on YouTube that surprised me with kind of how they were pushing for the murder charge and not the manslaughter charge. And I guess to sum it up, she was definitely completely incompetent, but I just don't see any malicious intent behind her actions. I don't think that she was going in there to kill someone. I think it was just a complete accident. And I think that in America, it's innocent until proven guilty, and I believe that, if you're going to charge someone with murder, which is intent, then you should be able to prove the intent.
Right, exactly. See, the only thing people were talking about was when they were trying to prove intent, when she said the statement, "When I shot him, I was trying to kill him." That's not intent. I mean, it's intent in that moment, but it is not. It's not intent beforehand, because that's what really matters. If you're inside your house and you shoot somebody that you think is an intruder with the intention of killing them, that's not the same thing as intending to murder somebody. That's different. So it gets kind of murky when that whole thing happens.
Yeah, I think that I 100% agree with you that I just don't see murderous intent behind it. And, I think that ultimately it was an accident because she thought it was her apartment. So that's why she killed him, not because of anything else.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's just someone else is actually looking at it at a really logical standpoint, because there's a lot of conservatives that really surprised me about how they are approaching this. But that's it. And I also want to say that, God bless Mr. Jean and his family, and my condolences go out to them.
Hey, thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate your call.
For sure. Thank you so much.
Shout out to the caller. Yeah, that's all I was trying to say. It's like it was a clear accident. She didn't go in that apartment with the intention of killing that man or doing anything malicious. She thought it was her apartment. She thought she had castle doctrine, but she didn't. The neglect came in when she failed to realize certain signs that would alert her that was not her house. That's why she got time, and also because she's an officer and because she's white. Just being all the way real. That's just what happened. All right, let me get to my next call here. Let me see. Let's go to. All right, call you on the line. 267. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, ABL? Just recognized game, man, from YouTube. I see you had called me out, so I figured I'd hit you up. You said I wasn't gonna call. You called me a troll, so I figured,
yeah, man.
Why not get me in person? You know?
Yes, sir.
Damn
yes,
near
sir.
in person.
Yes, sir, man. So what's on your mind?
First, I wanted to address the, how basically you spreading fake news on your show about the little girl.
What did I say that was fake?
Well, you actually tried to speak for her when you said that she hates her hair, or she probably hates her hair because her hair is like.
I mean, which one? Which one is it? Which one is it? Because one is just me giving my opinion. The other one is saying that's what she said.
Why are you giving that opinion?
Hold on. I'm allowed to give my opinion. It's just my thoughts. It's not right or wrong.
Well, how can you give an opinion on something if you just really fabricated that entire thought process by even interjecting that into this whole scenario? Period.
Sir, do you understand, sir? Do you understand, sir? Hold on.
I know we got like 5-10 minutes.
Do you understand what an opinion is?
Yeah, I do. But you can't
what is an
have
opinion?
An opinion about something that you made up. This part of the whole situation you made up.
What did I make up?
You made up when you said she probably doesn't even like her own hair. She probably identifies more with the dope boy who has crooked gold teeth in his mouth and has that hairstyle. So she probably just really wanted to cut her own hair because she hates that hair.
Okay, sir, we got you, sir. So hold on. We got your point, sir. We got your point, sir. I need you just to pause for a moment. Now, do you know the definition of opinion? Yes or no question.
I certainly do. You can have your opinion,
what is?
But you got
sir. Okay, sir. Look, pause, sir.
She didn't.
Sir. Look. Maybe you don't know the rules, but when I start talking, you got to pause because we got limited time. And if you talking while I'm talking, can't nobody hear you. And we got to be able to have a good conversation. All right. But see, you know what? When you talking, nobody can hear you. I can't hear you either. I turned the sound back on, then I heard you talking. But the whole time when you were talking, I did not hear you. So when I'm talking, you can't talk. So if you want to do that, we can. But if you can't, then I can't do nothing for you. So you ready to go ahead and do this right? You were still, my man, he was talking the entire time. Like, that's okay. I'm going to turn on the sound one more time. And if you're talking, I got to just, we got to move on. Wow. Really? You still talking? Good grief. Like, come on, man. I understand that you have your point of view and you want to get it out. But look, man, you cannot talk while I'm talking. You can't. Okay. All right. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn it back on. People can hear it. Oh, you're quiet. There we go. Okay, good. Now, my question to you was, do you know the definition of the word opinion, yes or no? And if you do know, can you tell me?
No, I'll take your definition. You tell me the definition, and we'll go based on your definition.
Opinion. According to Google, you can look it up right now. Matter of fact, I'll put it on the screen so you know.
According to you.
No. Look, I'm gonna put it on the screen so you can see it.
No, go ahead, put it up there. But I'm saying according to you. Subscribe to this particular.
It's not mine.
And we can go.
Sir, I didn't write it. I didn't write a definition. This is on Google. I didn't write it.
Let's go with it. I know I don't subscribe to everything that Google says, but if you subscribe to this definition,
what is a good source?
Subscribe to it for the sake of this conversation.
Tell me a good source to know what a definition of a word is. You tell me. Do you have one, or
Let's
you just?
Go. Let's go.
All right. Opinion, sir. Look, sir. Come on. Opinion, sir. Can I talk? Opinion, a view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. So how are you going to tell me that I'm wrong, sir? How are you going to say that I'm sir? I'm not done talking. I'm gonna talk. You can't say that I fabricated something in an opinion, because an opinion is a view or a judgment. That's just how I feel about it. You know, it's just like saying, oh, today's a beautiful day. You may think it's not a beautiful day, but that's just your opinion. Nobody's right or wrong. It's just your view. I don't have facts. All I can do is give my opinion. That's why I say I think, or I feel, or I believe. That denotes an opinion, which means I just feel that way, and it's not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. But go ahead.
All right, so you base it on whatever you want to base it on, but you have a responsibility as a reporter or as an entertainer or whoever you are on your platform, because this child is a minor, and those other two children are also minors. I don't care who's black. I don't care who's white, because I'm not caught all into the racial part of it. I'm thinking about the integrity of the reporting that you're doing. And when you put words into this child's mouth, which you are going to say that you did not do, hopefully people can hear me right now, because I know you like to drop people's voices off. But you are someone who is actually creating a scenario that has not even been introduced by either lawyers, law enforcement, the children, the family members of the children. No one from this child's support system has said anything about her not liking her hair. You said that.
It's my opinion.
You said that.
It's my opinion.
So this is,
I can have an opinion.
So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that you are a clown for having that opinion.
Why am I a clown?
You're not a coon. I'm not saying
okay.
You're a coon.
Why am I a clown?
I don't use that word, but I see that you called me out.
Sir, you were allowed to talk for a long time. We all got all night. So my question to you is, look, when I'm talking, I promise you nobody can hear you, like, at all. Dead serious. Nobody can hear you at all. So there's no point in you continuing to talk. So my question to you is, what makes me a clown? If you can answer the question, I'll let you off of mute.
I'm trying to answer it, but you keep putting me on mute.
Sir, answer the question, please. Time's a wasting.
All right, you keep putting me on mute.
Answer the question, please, sir.
Okay, don't put me on mute.
Answer the question. I can, sir, look, the time is wasting.
The reason why you're a clown, let me say it. Don't put me on mute. The reason why you're a clown, ABL, Anthony Bryan.
Get to the question. Logan. Answer it, sir.
Let me answer. I'm talking to you. I want to.
You're taking like 30 seconds to get to the response.
Okay, I've only been on for a couple of minutes. You keep cutting me off and muting me. But you are a clown because you have put these words into the context.
All right, okay.
Of that it may or may not even be something that she was thinking. So you are introducing this entire scenario that she may or may not even like her hair. So I want to ask you a question on air, because you are a black man like I'm a black man. I don't care what you want to call yourself right now, but you are black. And I know when you don't cut your hair off, it looked like mine. And it looked like that little girl's if you didn't tend to it. So if you wanted to get dreadlocks, because that's intentionally not keeping your hair, or however they make the dreadlocks, because I never had them, because a lot of white people got dreadlocks too, and a lot of white people don't cut their hair either, because it's not really a big thing in the white community to get haircuts every week. Get
to the question. We don't have all day.
I'm getting to the question.
Get to it now.
Do you have anybody in your family who has hair, whether it's in the form of a dreadlock style or just hair that grows in a way that can grow dreadlocks like this girl if they don't get a haircut? Is your hair like that?
Yes, it is.
Are you embarrassed about your hair? Is that why you wear a bald face and a bald hair and you cut all your hair off? Are you embarrassed about your hair?
No, I just look better.
I thought that about you.
Sir, I'm gonna answer the question. I'm gonna answer the question that you asked me.
Yeah, but
you're muted, so nobody can hear you. So I'm gonna answer your question. Now, I'm not embarrassed, but I know I look better with a clean shave. You know, it's just something that, my dad did it. He was in the military. My uncle did it. He was in the military. It's just something that I grew up doing. I know I look better. when I grow my hair out, it's just, it's not really all the way smooth. Some guys can have nice beards, it's nice and full, but mine don't really grow like that. It's looking like crackhead status because it's kind of patchy. So I prefer to have a nice clean shave. And the reason why I have a bald head is because I kept getting bald fades and it's costing a lot of money. And I was spending too much money in the barbershop. And at the time, I didn't have any money to really spend in the barbershop. So I just got a bald head because I can just do it at my house for no money. Buy some clippers, cut my hair, and then it's cost effective. That's why. And I was never really into the long hairstyle. I tried to get dreads when I was like 14, but my hair would just kind of stop growing. So I kind of abandoned that experiment. But that's pretty much your answer to your question.
Got it. Now, so you said Lil Wayne and The Weeknd, these multi-million-dollar guys that play in the NFL, you talking about all these people who wear dreadlocks, T-Pain, who happen to be multi-millionaires.
Name females. Name females.
I mean, it's a lot of females.
It's a little girl because here's the thing about it. It's a little girl.
Hold on. Let me finish. You said name females. I know almost every teacher that I know.
Name one.
Female. I'm talking about.
Oh, so you can't name them. All right.
Let me talk. I'm not talking about people on TV. I'm talking about every black female that I know in education, in mental health. They all have dreadlocks with master's degrees.
All of them?
All of them.
All of them?
Damn near.
Okay.
Damn near, bro.
Okay.
And that's real.
Why should I? Why does that matter? Why does that matter to me?
Well, it don't have to matter to you. You asked me a question, so it should.
Wait, what question did I answer?
You asked me to tell you about the women who wear dreadlocks.
No, but my question is it's an overall thing. You were talking about men, and then I was like, name women. But overall, why does it matter?
I named women.
Sir, I'm not done with the question. Women. You got to be able to let me finish the question, and then I can answer. And when I'm talking, you can't talk. So before I get to the next call, because you've been on for 11 minutes, and it's kind of a long time. My question to you was, why does that matter? Why does it matter who else has dreads aside from this young girl? Why does that matter?
You said it. You brought up these drug dealer thug types that.
No, the question was, why does it matter? Why are you bringing it up? Like, why is that important to me?
You acting scary. Let me talk.
Look, sir, we don't have a look, sir. Look, we have a limited amount of time, so you can't talk forever. Okay, so I'm trying to be nice and giving you extra time, but we don't have all night.
Remember, you said it, and you keep asking me why does it matter to you? But you said it, and that's why I called in, because you said that she identifies with drug.
No, okay, I'm gonna just respond to that because you're saying, and then I got to go to get to my next call. Matter of fact, you have a nice day, caller, but I gotta go. You've been on too long. I had to hang up on him because he's been on for 12 minutes. That's too long. But anyway, he was saying that I said she identified more with like the drug dealers with crooked gold teeth. No, not really. What my opinion about the little girl was she probably felt like her dreads weren't pretty. She's 12 years old, a little girl. She wants to feel like a girl, like pretty. She don't want to have the dope boy dreadlocks. You saw that the guy that was on the phone was mentioning men that have dreads, Lil Wayne and Drake and T-Pain and all these down south Florida rappers, like I said. Maybe the little girl does not want to identify with that. The caller does not understand the way an opinion works. An opinion is just me giving my own particular viewpoint. It's just from my feelings, how I feel. What I do on this stream and all my videos, I give you the facts about what happened. I'll give you links in the box, straight information. I'll put it on the screen, tell you to read it for yourself. Then I'll say, here's what I think. Here's my opinion. Here's how I feel. This is not, nightly news where they just read the news and that's it. I'm a person that will give you the news, but also give you my opinion. That's kind of how I do things here. But I digress. Let's get to the next phone call. 843, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, this is Tyler. Hey, buddy.
All right, Tyler, what's going on?
Oh, just enjoying your show tonight, man. That was all right. This might be more about Jamar than you, but I agree with you totally. And I think what a lot of black people don't understand too is like white people throughout history have had dreadlocks. Like if we don't brush our hair, it's going to tangle. It's going to, he's looking at it from more of a racial thing, where I see what you're saying is she just didn't have it together. She was going through her awkward stage maybe as a young girl, like all girl, white, black, all people go through that stage. She just wasn't comfortable in her own skin, no matter what color that was. But that to me, I think you're spot on. But moving on to the Dallas thing, I don't know how often anybody listening might watch the first 48. But my wife and I, we enjoy that show, and we've noticed that in Dallas in particular, and we're from Ohio originally, up in Cleveland, it doesn't seem like people get much time, and they're committing, voluntary homicide, shooting people, taking risks with children in the area. Don't even no regard if children or people are in the house, just totally off the hook, right? And if you watch all the way through when they do these plea deals at the end of the show and wrap it up, you're talking might get 5 years, 8 years, you know what I mean, for just out here being reckless in the community. In Dallas, it's like down there that you might get 5 years for something like that. It's like no life, it's like the way they measure life. It's just what a funny tipping scale. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of point that I was getting at, because it's like people were saying she should get 25 years life. It's like, nah, but you got to put it in context. You got to look at reality. Look at context. Look at people that have done, actual killings, like for real. They intended to do it. Drug dealing, gang banging. People might get 5 years. I know guys that have gotten that have killed people and went to jail for a short period of time. I'm not saying they're my best friends or anything like that. I'm just saying I know who they are, and I know how long they got.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to look at it like that and then put it in proper perspective. People just kind of got emotional behind this, understandably so, because of the situation. Innocent guy minding his own business, and he gets shot and killed in his own house. It's a tragic situation, but we can't just let the emotions that we have blind us from reality and what the law says.
Absolutely. That, and I think that's the biggest, you said the word emotion, and too much in America. We're led by emotion. We don't think. We're not rational anymore, and we have to get that back somehow. And watching the younger, the kid that came on earlier, I mean, just seeing that gives, I'm 45, but it gives me hope, a little bit of peace that, okay, there are some people that's going to carry, carry the torch. That's going to, they're out here thinking the right way. So that was an excellent call. But your last one, that was fun. But I'll let you get to it, ABL. I know you're busy, buddy. Appreciate your show. We love it.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, shout out to the call. I most certainly appreciate you guys. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. That'll help me out tremendously. And I thank y'all for that. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. It is all good over around these parts. Let me get to the next call. 702, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Rob in Vegas. How you doing tonight?
Everything's great. How about yourself?
Oh, it's wonderful. Man, it's been funny tonight.
Yeah,
but,
man.
Hey, I've been watching Chandler now for about 8 months. Kid's got his head on straight.
Oh, definitely, 100%. I've met him at least a couple times. Really smart kid, and that gives me hope for the future. When you got kids like this out here that are already starting to do things, it gives me a lot of hope for the future. So we're not lost. It's not a bunch of Antifa kids running around here only. You got some really, really smart kids doing the right thing.
Yeah, I saw him at that conference in Washington a little while back. Man, but hey, I hope he's not still online, because, man, he had a little cutie on the show with him. He was going out to breakfast with. I was like, okay, Chandler. But about that Amber girl down in Texas, I was like, yeah, you nailed it, because here in Vegas, the most dangerous spot in the whole city is standing at a bus stop. Oh, we get bus stops just taking out 6, 7, 8 people at a time, all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. One woman rolled her car over the bus stop, killed like 4 people.
Wow.
But don't worry, she got a ticket.
A ticket for killing 4 people? Good grief.
Yep. Oh, hey, one woman, she ran down, okay, they were doing community service along the freeway. She plowed into them. I think she killed 8 to 12 of them. She got 6 years.
Wow. Unreal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we get the bus stops here. It's a big joke in Vegas about, yeah, you don't want to be standing in the bus stop in Vegas.
I see. Good grief.
Yeah. Well, hey, you have a great show tonight, and I hope Chandler has some fun.
Definitely, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You have a great night. Bye-bye.
All right, same to you. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. There's also an email for the Skype if you want to get in right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. You could do that as well. Let me get to the next call. 765, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, Anthony.
Hello.
This is Cool Hoosier, and I have to say that I respect your decision on saying that you believe that Amber Guyger should have only got 10 years, but I respectfully disagree with you. And the reason why, I mean, if that black man had been my son or my son-in-law, 10 years wouldn't be enough. You know, and I've been raised around guns all my life. My dad came from a family of 6 sons and 1 daughter. And so all my uncles had guns. My father had guns. I started shooting when I was about 5. And I learned to have a high respect for guns. And one of the things that my father always taught me is when you pick up a gun, you are to always be concerned about your surroundings, know where you are, what you're doing, that sort of thing. And, you know, like one of the things that was brought up was that rug that was in front of the man's door. It was red or something. And she should have immediately known that wasn't her apartment. And her working 15 hours is not a good excuse, in my opinion. I've been a nurse for almost 30 years, and we work routinely 12-hour shifts. Well, I can't tell you how many times that 12 hours stretched into 15, you know, and I would go home and I would be tired, but I would never just pick up my gun and instantly shoot someone without being cognizant of the surroundings. And I would know immediately when I walked into that room that that was not my home. So it's hard to just kind of write off all her suggestions of her. I think it's a flimsy castle theory. You know, it would be one thing if it really were her home. But in many cases, even if you're in your own home, you can get prosecuted for shooting an intruder because if you do not know their intentions. You have to believe that you are in danger. And I don't think she could have proven that she felt like she was in danger when she walked in the room and this man is eating ice cream. I mean, anyway, that's just my opinion, and I'm going to kind of leave it there. You've stated your opinion, and like I said, I do respect that. This is kind of a polarizing subject, and we're probably all going to have a lot of different views.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion on it. And on that little girl that claimed that the white boys cut off her dreads, I do know that the girl was wrong. But I kind of feel sorry for her, too, because I read somewhere today that she actually lived with her grandparents, and her mother is not in the picture.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if she's having some internal, struggles, and that has caused her to make a very poor decision. But her grandparents came out and made a heartfelt apology. And, you kind of, as her being a juvenile, you've got to give her a little bit of room to make a mistake and say, let's give her a chance to change, I mean, because supposedly she's like an honor student. She plays the violin. She's got a lot going for her. But if her mom's not in the picture, a lot of grandparents these days are raising their grandchildren. And there's a lot of reasons for it. Sometimes the parents are in prison. Sometimes they have a drug problem. There can be so many different things. Or maybe they're off, you know, in the service somewhere, and they can't be there at that time. And any of those situations would cause a lot of internal strife for a child.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's just my two things that I wanted to talk about tonight for a minute. And, you know, I was just going to say once again, I appreciate your channel. And, you know, I appreciate your opinion, even though it's different from mine, at least on the Amber Guyger thing. I mean, I think that you pretty much feel the same way about that little girl.
Gotcha.
But it's a real sad situation with that young girl. So I just feel a lot of sympathy for her there. And, you know, hopefully she'll get the help that she needs. So we'll get her in counseling and things will improve.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Thank you. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate her. Yeah, everybody entitled to their own opinion. You know, I'm definitely going to stick to how I feel, but everybody's going to feel differently. You know, and I understand a lot of it is just, you know, how the whole thing played out. She definitely should get time in jail for sure. But people talking about 20 years, it's like, you know, guys that's out here gangbanging don't get that kind of time. But let me get to my next call. All right, caller, you on the line, 317, who am I speaking to?
Hi, I'm a first-time caller. This is, I've listened to your show a little bit, sort of tuned in late today. I didn't catch what you thought about the Guyger sentence, whether it was harsh or wrong or anything, or if you agreed on it. What was your take real quickly?
I thought it was appropriate, right on point. Like I predicted it would be 10 years in my video I did before it came out because it kind of made sense. You know, I think that the murder charge was just overkill. It should have been manslaughter for sure. And the manslaughter, it should have, in my video I said it should be manslaughter 10 years, and then it wound up being 10 years. So basically, they effectively gave her the sentence that'll probably be appropriate for manslaughter and murder. Although you can give 10 years in the murder case because the statute, well, the class, the first degree felony in Texas says murder can carry between 5 and 99 years. So she could have got as little as 5 and maybe 99. 10 was perfect because it was an accident. It was pretty clear. She was very negligent before and after. That's why it's manslaughter. So it's really unfortunate, but people talking about 25, you got guys out here gangbanging that don't get that. So you can't just take this case out of everyday crime that happens and just have it be excluded because it's emotionally gripping. You got to just look at it on the black and white way. That's how I looked at it.
Yeah, they seem to throw in a little bit of racism during the trial. There are general trends among different cultures, and it seems like minorities are allowed to say it, but when a white person says it, even in a text to a friend, all of a sudden it becomes racist. I don't think that that's fair. I think it should be the same standard for all people, and I don't think that she hated anyone because they were black or anything like that. I know I don't. I treat everyone fairly, and I heard the 911 call. I mean, that was clearly like she didn't mean to do that. You could hear her voice breaking up and stuff like that. And it was rather emotional. And yeah, I kind of agreed with the sentence. It shouldn't have been, you know, life or 25. And with gang members, the thing with them is a lot of them show no remorse whatsoever. And the same thing with a lot of different serial killers, and they need to be put away. So I don't really think that should be, you know, a way of saying, oh, well, she did the same thing as some of those people did, so of course she should be punished the same. I don't think it's fair, but I guess I agree with you on that. The other part, you had a guy call in where you kept on telling him, answer the question, and he just kept, I am, but you're not, and just arguing about whether to answer it rather than just, you know, doing it. And I think that guy was trolling. Either that or he just got too emotional and was trying to, like, I don't know, I'd say buttress his dignity or, you know, something about, you know, having like a power play, control over the conversation. When that happens, I would just let him go because it's taken up, you know, valuable time. I call into other radio shows sometimes and I like to hear different opinions, you know.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
All right, well, that's all I got. Thank you very much, Anthony. I like your show.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. I most certainly appreciate him. You know, one thing I try to do, I try to be fair to everybody and let everybody get a voice. Even if they're calling up here and they're not really understanding what an opinion is, I try to give everybody a voice. So can't nobody say, oh, it's an echo chamber, ABL. I don't try to do that. I try to let everybody have a voice. So that's just pretty much how I like to rock. But let me get to my next call. 408, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 408, you're on the line. Hello, who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Omar. I'm actually a pretty big fan of the show. I watch you every day, and I just wanted to call in and say that I love to listen to your views and think that you were completely right about the Amber Guyger thing. And yeah, I just wanted to say I really support the show, and just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Good. Have a good one.
All right, same to you. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate it. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Amber Guyger was off duty, so I mean, I don't know about that one, but I just try to just say things from a point of view that makes sense, and from my point of view. And I was right. 10 years is what she got. Let me get to the next call here. All right, hold on. I had one that I wanted to get. Let's go. 731, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up?
What's going on? Who am I speaking to?
Speaking of Stymie.
All righty, what's going on?
What's up, man?
Everything's good. What's on your mind, boss?
All right, man. I've been trying real hard to get, somebody to do a collab with Razorholic. And for some reason, I only can get to you to do it because, it'd be so cool if you can get in touch with this guy, Razorholic. And you guys are so similar, but you have different ways that you approach it. And I think you guys make a good, collaboration. That's all I want to say, man.
Oh, thank you for that, man. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, talk at you later, ABL.
All right, now, take care. All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, I know him. I'm subscribed to him, too. Maybe we can do that one day. Razorholic, yeah. He has good stuff. I like the way he does it. It's kind of like scripted, but at the same time, it's like I like the way he is able to, kind of carry his voice. I like him. So shout out to Razorholic. Big up. And shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are great. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And also, please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff for me. It'll help me out tremendously. Razorfish, yeah. Talking about Razorfish. I don't know why I knew Razorholic. Maybe that's like something else that he says, but yeah. I think his channel name is Razorholic, but or Razor. Yeah, his channel name is Razorholic, but he may be known as Razorfist on social media and stuff like that. Now, matter of fact, no. Hold on. Yeah, it's the same person. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm not really sure why I know his name like that. But let me get to the next call. 205, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yo, ABL. How's it going, man?
Everything's good. About yourself?
It's going pretty good, man. Going pretty good, man. This is twin down here in good old Alabama.
All right.
Call and discuss the Amber Guyger situation, man. We look at it on both sides. Botham Jean, sad thing when it came to even her, it's a sad thing, but like they said, she got basically 10 years for murder. She could have got worse. The thing about it is, you can see it when you looked at the whole trial. Her defense was basically they was kind of preserving their appeals, because I think they're really gonna appeal it, and basically they're gonna argue that did the factor of intent, was it there? And that's the thing about it. If it was intent there, if intent was there, yeah, the whole judgment is going to withstand. But the thing about it, she did admit to it. But I really think a lot of people ought to understand, when it comes to whether it's the issue with Amber Guyger, the issue with the girl with the dreads, just Smollett, and all of them, is that people need to stop looking at it as being a racial issue. Just one thing, just, okay, I'm black, and I'm just going to stick to this side, and this is what it's going to be. That's not always the case. And you got to look at things when it comes to the facts and evidence and the facts and the way things are. Yes, she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she committed the wrong act. So, I mean, it is what it is, but just people just need to stop looking at this racial issue. That's what's really dividing us, not only as black Americans in this country, but just as Americans in this country as well.
That's right. That's right. You know, the racial issue, we got to, at a certain point, we got to be able to get beyond that. Some things ain't really like that. I mean, we just got to be able to look at people for what they do, just human beings for what they do. The racial thing is not always, it's usually not even a factor. It's usually just a human being making a mistake, which is what happened. She should be held accountable, yes, but not to the extent of it being some type of racially based hate crime or something like that. That's just not the case here.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, they're looking at it the wrong way. I mean, yeah, she could have been a white female that thought she was in her own apartment and scared up, you know, hey, it was a guy in her apartment. And, you know, that may have been the issue, may not. But I mean, when you push the issue of race so much, it gets to the point, it's like people say, people don't know when to actually believe somebody that actually has an issue that actually is, you know, discriminatory or racial in the actual substance of the issue. And in this issue, this is just one of those issues that come up. It's a black person and a white person involved in it. And it's a totally bad situation. But if we don't get past this, this is what's going to hold us back as a country. And this is really what's holding a lot of people, a lot of us as black Americans, back from seeing a lot of issues the way that we need to see them. And we should see that the Democratic Party and the liberals are not having our best interests at heart and try to do something to actually, you know, be with a party and organization that's actually going to fight for our best interests, and that's not what's happening. So I hope that, you know, we can get past that, man, you know, but it is what it is. But, brother, you know, hey, keep it going, keep the show going. There was another issue I wanted to bring up, but, you know, hey, I'll call in the next. Oh, yeah. The pastor, it was a couple of weeks, you had the pastor that had the sign that was about the, put the sign on his church saying that the black vote for Trump was stupidity and the white vote for Trump was racism.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm from Birmingham, and I'm actually from that area where that church is located, man. And that pastor, he is a straight-up joke, and I'll be straight-up honest with you, man. That church is located directly in the hood. It's located direct.
You know, I was going to ask you about that because I made the assumption. But, you know, I lived in areas like that before, so I pretty much could recognize it when I see it. But I wanted to ask you just to make sure I was on point in saying that was the hood right there.
100% on point. Prostitution takes place directly in front of that church.
Wow.
I mean, you don't have to go around the corner anywhere. It happens right in front of that church. Not only just female prostitution, it's guys out there. I know because I got property over there that I have to go and see about, and I'm telling you, it happens right there in front of that church, man. And there's more issues in that neighborhood that need to be addressed versus him looking for attention by putting a sign up saying that a black vote for Trump is stupidity and a white vote for Trump is racism. There's way more issues that need to be addressed, but that is not the issue that he wants to bring about because it's not going to give him the attention that he wants. And, you know, it is what it is. But, hey, that's all I want to say, ABL. Hey, keep it going, man. Love the show. I'll keep rocking with you, man.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Yeah, I figured I was on point with that whole church thing. If you don't remember that whole video, it was a pastor in Birmingham, Alabama, in this hood area. He had two signs, or he changed the sign to a different thing. The first one said, I think it was a black vote for Trump is mental illness, and then it said a white vote for Trump is racism. One might have been first, other one might have been first, but those two signs were right there on the little church sign. I was like, this guy's just trying to get attention, trying to get his name out there, trying to get probably some donations from the outside. I mean, just a nut. And it's unfortunate you got guys like that in these communities, but it is what it is. Yeah, so shout out to the caller. Great call every time we call in. Let me get to my next call here. Uh-oh. My Skype crashed. I answered the call, but Skype crashed. Skype does that every now and again. So the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me try to answer this one here. Hold on. Alrighty. 828, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi there, Anthony. This is Janie from North Carolina. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to make a few comments tonight. I tried to put comments in the chat last week, but it would never take it. I don't know what was up with YouTube, but I'm here tonight. But about Amber Guyger.
Mm-hmm.
I look at it like this. You know, I've worked 16 hours a day, and I've come home and actually run off the road about to fall asleep, you know, because I've just worked too long. And so I can understand that the woman was tired. But at the same time, I've never lived in a big apartment building, so I don't know how those work. But I think as soon as I opened the door, I could tell I wasn't in my own apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Even sleepy, tired, distracted. I think as soon as I opened my door, you know, I would know that was not my apartment. But that being said, she seemed like she was very remorseful for what she done. I mean, she really did. And she'll have to live with that the rest of her life. So 10 years and just the subconscious thought that she'll have to live with that will probably torment her for many, many years. All right, the next thing that I wanted to say was that I heard today that a police officer was suspended from his position in Fairfax, Virginia, for calling ICE agents.
That's right.
After he stopped a car and they had no driver's license, and when he called it in, he found that there was an open warrant for his arrest for missing his deportation hearing. But they suspended him because he done that, and I just think that's so wrong. At some point in time, I could see police officers just stop doing their job. You know, they want to put restrictions on them, but they want you to come out when you call them. Now, if that had been, you know, any citizen there in Fairfax that had a warrant out, he would have done the same thing. So I think that's wrong, and I think it's time that, you know, people get behind their counties, you know, for their governors or mayors, whoever's making these stupid rules, and let them do their jobs. And also today, I saw where Kamala Harris had wrote a letter to the CEO of Twitter demanding them to suspend Donald Trump's Twitter account. And, you know, if you watch just about any news except for Fox, and I don't even like all those people, we would never, ever hear the truth about anything because we're so programmed that we want to take the news to be true. And I really do think that, I don't know what her whole role is for there because, you know, I think that's a good way for us to be able to see what our president's talking about. I'm not a big Twitter person, but I will read tweets. And the next thing was that I saw that today that they found that Adam Schiff actually had been in contact with the whistleblower.
Mm-hmm.
And that he kept saying that he did not who it was or hadn't talked to him or anything, but if the whistleblower talked to Adam Schiff's aide, and that's what the New York Times has reported, of course Adam Schiff talked to the whistleblower. So I think that's just another big coup. I hope there'll come a time when Donald Trump sues every one of them and leaves them penniless and jobless. But that was about all I was going to say today. And I really thank you for what you do. You're just so good at what you do. And I appreciate you for giving us a platform to talk about whatever we need to, whatever we got on our mind. But even for the troll, that man that was so upset about everything, you know, even them, they got their own opinions too. But I thank you so much for all that you do. And you have a good night.
All right. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call every time she calls in. I appreciate you guys for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. Everybody's welcome. Even the trolls or people that I disagree with. Everybody's welcome to call on in. 916 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony. It's Charlotte.
All righty. What's going on?
Hi. I wanted to discuss with you two things. The first was President Trump and the whole impeachment thing. And then the last one was about Amber Guyger and the shooting.
Yeah.
So, President Trump, okay, if anybody in the world right now who knows what's going on actually believes that Trump will get impeached is the dumbest person on the planet. First reason is because if the Democrats were so serious about this impeachment, if they really believed that they could impeach him, then they wouldn't be taking their recesses or breaks. They wouldn't be doing anything but, right in the Capitol building, no sleep, no nothing, trying to get him on anything to impeach him. Are they doing that?
Nope.
I don't think so.
It seems kind of laissez-faire. They're just kind of like going about their everyday business, not really focus on it too much. It's more of a scare tactic or kind of a campaign re-election tactic than anything else.
Or what else could it be? It could be a distraction from something else. And what could that something else be? Does Ukraine pop into mind, anybody? Does Joe Biden pop into anybody's head, or Hunter Biden? Does any of that pop into anybody's head right now? It pops into my head. This Ukraine thing. Why on earth would Hunter Biden, who is, by the way, one of the laziest, worst people in character in Washington we have right now. I mean, everybody knows that he's, not a good person. He lies, he cheats, he scams. Everybody knows that about him. It's not a secret. So why would Hunter want to go all the way to Ukraine, which is not, a place a rich person like him would want to go to, to go to a job that he has no experience in, unless there was a caveat. What's the caveat? Of course, well, he's making $1 million a year. That's a good plus, right? But the other is that, do you really think that this Burisma company is really what they say they are?
Oh, no.
Do you really think that... Right. First question is, why was it that Russia was increasing all their oil prices to gouge out Ukraine's debt, and then why was the United States giving $1 billion to aid for Ukraine to have oil, right? And then there's this pipeline. I don't know if anybody knows, right? But there is a pipeline that was going to be built from Qatar through Syria into Turkey, and this pipeline was going to help Ukraine become more oil independent from Russia, because Russia is trying to, get Ukraine to become part of Russia again, obviously. Well, the United States obviously doesn't want that. So, during 2014, when all that, Kiev kerfuffle was going on, the Obama administration had great interest in this pipeline being built, right? But it didn't get built. Why? Because Syria said no. Assad said no. And then once you have it, just a little bit afterwards, Obama comes in, Syria, takes Assad out, and completely wipes the floor with him. Well, that's curious. And then at the same time, you have this prosecutor looking into just the company of Burisma, not Hunter Biden, but the company, and in particular the oligarch who runs the company. But then all of a sudden, Joe Biden gets all bent out of shape. Why? Unless it's, a really good reason statewide.
That's right.
Because another thing is, that whistleblower, I really hate that people call him that, because he's not a whistleblower. If he was a whistleblower, he would have had substantial stuff to say, while, that he could corroborate, but he doesn't. So he's not a whistleblower. He is really, a former CIA operative going to the Democrats to start this stuff. But why? Because another member of that board in the Burisma was a former head of the CIA counterintelligence group during the Bush administration. So
he was basically spreading rumors. That's not a whistleblower. If you whistleblow, you got to have firsthand knowledge. He does not have that.
Right. So all of this, the Democrats are just stirring all of this, impeachment with Trump, because Trump is bringing all the truth to the surface so every American can understand what's really happening. It's not about the prosecutor. It's not about what Trump did. It's about what Obama did in 2014. That's what this is really about.
Mm-hmm.
And if and that's why they're doing this fake impeachment, because they don't want the American people to really know what's going on. And that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, and then Amber Guyger. So I totally understand what you're saying about it being manslaughter. However, personally, I have a hard time agreeing with that, simply because there's a lot of extenuating circumstances that we don't know. It's really hard to, know exactly what was going through her mind at, during that time and what really happened. Because the thing is, I could believe her if she had just moved into that apartment. If it was brand new, she just moved in a couple of days or even a couple of weeks, I can understand maybe she accidentally walked in. But if she had been living there over a month, a couple months, even a year, a long time, even if you've come off a long shift, I don't understand how anyone can get to the wrong apartment. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, I gotta say one thing though, because one thing that was said is that 50% of the people that lived there had gone to the wrong apartment at one point. So that's a lot of people. Maybe it's just the way that the apartments are designed. It's apparently pretty easy to go to the wrong apartment in that apartment complex. Now, going inside and killing people, that's something different. But going to the wrong door is very common in that particular apartment complex.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's a good stat that I didn't hear in the video, because for me, it was just thinking I guess it's hard for me to, but I've never lived in an apartment, so I don't know. Maybe it is more confusing in an apartment complex. It's just that, I have been in college. I've lived in dorms, and they all look the same too. And I've never gone to the wrong one, even after not sleeping or anything. So I just don't understand how someone could just miss their. But okay. But I just don't understand why she would just go in and then, just shoot him like that. Not even just hey, what are you doing in here? No, questions. No, I'm calling the police. Just shoot first, ask questions later. Even if she thought she was going in her own home, okay, fine. But you immediately just take out your gun and shoot?
Well, yeah. I mean, she definitely was negligent. That's why she got the sentence.
Yeah.
That's why she went to jail, because if it were not for that, then it'd be a different story. But definitely negligent. That's why she's going to jail. But as far as it being she went in there with trying to find him and kill him, and she knew him already, that wasn't the case. It wasn't like they got into an argument and she pulled out the gun and shot him. She thought she was in her house. She was negligent, obviously, because it was not her house. She missed some obvious cues that would let her know that's not her house. But it's she didn't go there with the purpose of, I'm trying to kill this man. She went there with the purpose of, I thought this is my house. So while she did do a thing that's wrong, I think the correct sentence would have been manslaughter and then the 10 years. So it's just it's hard to look at it like that because of the situation. It can kind of get to you because he's an innocent man minding his own business and he dies in his own house. It's just really unfortunate.
But and I also think that the woman should get serious counseling, because I have a feeling maybe she was a policewoman, right?
Yes.
So, and that's a very stressful job. People don't, the normal person, I know, because my cousin, he's the head of the police union in my city, and I've been raised with cops, so I know a little bit about what they're going through. But, you know, people don't understand, like, how rough it is for them. You know, they have to go through these horrendous, dangerous, like, you know, calls almost every day. They never know if they're going to make it home, you know, today. They don't, you know, they never know if today's my day that I don't make it to my family. You know, and that's a lot of stress to have on a person. And not only that, they're not paid enough. You know, they work too much. You know, all those circumstantial, factors combined with, you know, not the correct support, I think, from the community for police officers makes these situations happen sometimes. And you get overworked, underpaid police officers who don't get the proper, you know, care mentally that they need.
That's right.
You get this type of situation.
That's right. I agree with you.
And it's really unfortunate because, you know, maybe if she had been taken care of more mentally, this never would have happened, and this young man would still be alive, eating his ice cream, you know? And it's something to think about, you know, because these things affect us, whether, you know, we see it on a daily basis or not. It's all in our communities, and it's something that we all can help to fix, you know, by supporting our local law enforcement, whether it's your family or friends. Just support them. Let them know that you appreciate what they do, because it sucks.
Absolutely.
You know, it sucks big time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, ABL.
All right,
Thank
no
you
problem.
for taking my call. All right, bye.
All right, I got to fly. Shout out to me, and shout out to the caller for calling in. Most certainly appreciate her. All right, let's get to the next call here. 910, you done learn who am I speaking to?
Let me turn my thing down. Hey, ABL, how you doing, man?
Everything's great. Can't complain. About yourself?
Oh, I was thinking about something you were talking about on the beginning of the program, about what you were gonna do at the, was it BLS,
Black Leadership Summit?
BLS, yeah, up in Washington D.C. I thought maybe the last time I called I might be able to make it up there, but I'm not gonna be able to. Got some other things going on, but when you were talking about doing like the man on the street thing,
yeah,
I was thinking, I saw this thing where they put like pictures of Jesus and Ronald McDonald, Thomas Jefferson. These are big blowed up pictures.
Yeah.
Hamilton and Jackson, and I think they even had like Reagan and other people or whatever, but they had these big blowed up pictures, right? And they're asking these people, and they're like, they can't recognize, or sure, they knew who Ronald McDonald was, but they didn't know who Jesus was. And then it was like, the other guys, they were like looking at these big old pictures of them, and they don't know who they are. And I'm like, hey, you pull out a $2 bill, a $10 bill, and a $20 bill. Well, that's Jefferson, Hamilton, and Jackson. You don't recognize the people. You're spending money, and their pictures are all over that money. You don't know what you're spending? I mean, I thought it was just so funny, you know?
Right.
I was getting your opinion on that. Just, you know, or an idea for what you could do. Another thing was, I saw this guy goes to a college campus, and he starts saying stuff like, I've been looking for some help, support for these people that they're called Hamas, and I really think we should help them out. This is a Jewish guy. He's talking to some college kids, and he's like, can't you contribute some money? Oh, yeah, we should help these people out and all this. And yeah, they must be oppressed, and we should help them out. And all. And I'm like, these people are like launching missiles into Israel, and this guy's asking you for the support. But the college kids are so into the millennial thing, they don't even realize what they're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
They here they are going to support Hamas and all this stuff, and I think they made there was some other terrorist groups too, and it was really funny that these college kids were like, yeah, we should support them, and I mean, they were like other people passing by, and they were like, hey, come here, you need to listen to this guy, and like, are y'all just like sheep, you know? and that's the way I feel about, you know, I think I've made my views before about. I think I don't get frustrated. I do see the black and white issues and stuff like that, but a lot of us just low information voters. They're just, you know, they hear something and it sounds good and they're just all jumping in on it, but they don't think about it. Like the Elizabeth Warren thing, I think I told you that before, where she's attacking like corporate America, and she's a couple weeks ago she was up there trying to get some money, and they're like, they're not going to support her. She's always attacking them, and that's where I don't think she's going to get the black vote. Honestly, I don't, or Pocahontas or whatever. I don't think she's going to get the black vote either. And you know, even if she did have some good programming thing, I just racially, I just don't think she's going to cut the mustard, you know?
Well, I think what'll happen is she'll get the default black vote, but it won't be enthusiastic. And I think that Trump will get much more of the black vote than he did last time. We're looking at maybe 25, could be 30%.
Yeah.
Like, if Trump were to get 30% of the black vote, that'd be unheard of in the past 50 years. That'd be historic, and that could really, you know, flip the whole thing. So yeah, I think that this election is going to be one to really look at for the history books for sure.
Yeah, but the other thing I was going to tell you is, and I don't want to take up too much time. I know you spent some time on the phone tonight with some very interesting people. And even, like you said, the antagonist guy that was, he didn't want to hear your opinion whatsoever. He had already made up his mind before he even called in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he, I don't know if he was just trying to bully his way into your program and then try to do some type of like embarrassment to you because he was black too. I never even, when I'm talking to you, I'm thinking I'm talking to another American. I know you're black. I know you have bald, and you've even said that, you know, or whatever. It's like he was trying to project onto you that you're doing what you're doing because of.
Yeah, I mean, people got like, their own. People just
like he was trying to make you be ashamed of being a black man.
Yeah,
like you were taken up for bad behavior of these other people, or you know.
Yeah,
I just didn't understand his logic.
I mean,
people
like that aren't really logical. Sorry. That's just kind of how they operate. They're not really logical. But hey, I don't mean to cut you right here, but I got a lot of calls I want to get to before I get off. So thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, ABL.
All right, thank you.
And are you gonna be here Saturday?
I may be on the lookout for that. Okay. I may be here, maybe not. But I'll let you guys know.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Have a good night.
All right. Thank you for the call.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Let's get to my next one here. 832, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing today, sir? You the young man I'm looking at on online, right?
That's right.
Yeah, you just had a long-winded guest on your show there. You kind of let him go a little long. Calling out of Houston, Texas, man. You just said about 30% of African Americans will vote for Trump.
It could be.
Well, it must be. No, it must be 10, and you gonna probably be one. Somebody else gonna probably be the other one, and they'll probably have somebody else to vote him. That's the only way you get 30% of the vote. Trump will not be elected again unless he pull one of them, like he going right now all over the world trying to find stuff on people and everything like that.
All right, hold on. Let's pause for a moment. Why do you think that he won't get the black vote?
Is it so obvious, man?
I'm asking you the question.
Okay. He don't like people of color. He's a racist.
Are you a person of color yourself?
Yeah, I am. I'm an African American male.
All right. So why do you think that he doesn't like people of color?
It's in his record, man. With the Central Park 5, with when he had the apartment complex, they was discriminating against people of color. You never really went back and traced Donald Trump's action. And I would hearsay, but his action.
Okay, so you said the apartment complex lawsuit and then Central Park 5. Let's pause a moment right there. The apartment complex lawsuit, was it Donald Trump that was handing out keys to the apartments at the place, or was it like a property manager that was doing it and Trump just happened to own it and then Trump got sued because he was the owner? Is that what happened?
No, Trump was actually a part of that. He knew exactly what they was doing.
So was Trump?
So
hold on. So the question, sir, listen to me now. The question was it Trump handing out the keys to the apartments and all that kind of stuff, or was it a property manager?
They was just following his instructions.
It's simple. Which one was it?
They was following his instructions.
Okay, so have you been able, have you been able to prove that? Where's your evidence for that?
They sued him and won. A lot of people sued him and won in court.
Did they win or was it a settlement?
Well, settlement or win.
No, it's not. I mean, somebody could say
he did prevail.
Yeah, I saw. I'm gonna talk, sir. Wait a minute. Sir, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You guys got when we get into a little debate and whatnot, I got to be able to kind of just lead it, and then you can follow my lead because it's my show. Just to make sure everything goes on the up and up, and we just respect time. All right. Now here we go.
Go ahead, man, because I understand what side of the fence.
Okay, now Nick Cannon. You know who Nick Cannon is?
No, I've never heard of Nick Cannon. Refresh my memory.
Okay, do you know who Mariah Carey is?
Yes.
Nick Cannon was married to Mariah Carey.
Oh, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon. Okay.
Nick Cannon. Okay. Now Nick Cannon did a video where he said that his ex nanny sued him because their baby headbutted her and she had some serious injuries as a result. Now, obviously, a baby cannot injure you by headbutting you, but it's a lawsuit.
What they got to do with Donald Trump?
Can I finish my statement, please? Sir, can I finish my statement, please? Now, obviously, a baby cannot injure you by headbutting, but there was a lawsuit and Nick Cannon settled. That doesn't mean that the baby injured the lady. It just means that it was easier to settle out of court than anything else. Could it be the same situation with Trump and the New York apartments? Maybe it was, because after the whole situation, he's hanging out with a lot of black folks in New York. Nobody said he was racist. Even up until recently, in the past 5 to 10 years, he's hanging out with Puff Daddy, people like that. So Puff Daddy was around in New York during that particular point in time. During the 70s, he was growing up. And then with Central Park 5, he was around during that particular point in time. So why did Puff Daddy, so why did, sir, I got to finish. So why did Puff Daddy and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson not think that Trump was a racist up until he became the president? Why is that? Sir, I'm waiting.
Man, look, just because he ain't running around in the hood and burning crosses in the backyard doesn't mean that he ain't a member of the Klan. His daddy was.
What's the evidence for that?
Oh, they got pictures of him and everything.
But I mean, I need you to answer the question that I laid to you. Can you answer the question or no?
I don't understand what you're trying to. You're trying to lead off. You're trying to lead off onto another side.
I asked you a question. Can you answer the question, sir? Listen to me, sir. Can you answer the question, sir? Look. Check it out. You're on my show, so I get to run it, and that's the beauty of my show. I get to run it. So the question, sir, when I'm talking, nobody can hear you. I can't hear you either. So you can talk all you want to. Nobody will care. Can you answer the question or no?
Wait telling people pull.
So was that a no to the question?
We started talking about something else. And you got all in.
So that was a no, but go ahead.
Okay. Apparently, you are a Republican.
Conservative.
It's apparent.
Conservative.
It's apparent. I can tell you, I'm a Democrat. I ain't got nothing to hide. But I'm gonna tell you like this, young man, and I'm gonna tell you like this. And I do a little ministry work in the neighborhood and the communities out here.
Oh man.
You maybe live kind of like you haven't had too much experience with stuff. Let me ask you this: have you ever been pulled over or stopped by the police for any reason?
Yes.
So what was the outcome and the outtake of their attitude with you?
Always positive.
Always positive. Yeah.
No, I pull over. License registration. Here it is. Okay. Wait for a moment, sir. They go to their thing. Okay, you ran your plates. Either I get a warning or I think I got a ticket one time in my whole life. And I was speeding, and I know I was speeding. And I went to court, paid my little fine, and went about my day. And that was the end of that.
So you kept both hands on the steering wheel, right?
Oh yeah, both hands on the steering wheel. Yeah.
Yeah. Scratch your ear or your eyebrow, and the folks will shoot you, man.
Oh, is that right?
And people don't care about us. And folks don't care about us.
How often do blacks get shot by police? How often does that happen? When it's unjust.
Regular, man.
When it's
regular,
unjust.
Black. That's why Colin Kaepernick started the kneeling stuff. And then they try to flip it about the flag. It's about Black Lives Matter.
Oh, okay.
It's about our lives matter. You a black man like me. You haven't experienced that system racism yet, or you've been behind the curtain for so long that when the time comes,
behind what curtain?
Flash you in the face.
Behind what curtain, sir? What
in the face,
sir? Listen, behind what curtain? What are you talking about? What curtain are you talking about?
Maybe you've been shielded. You just haven't been exposed to certain things.
To like what?
On the job, the promotion stuff.
Well,
just in
maybe you're right about that, because I've been self-employed. I don't got to beg the white man for a job like you.
No, I ain't got to beg the white man for a job. I'm self. I got enough money, man, to take care of me. I'm 62 years old, to take care of me until the casket closed.
There you go. So you made it. You made it very well in this country. You doing well for yourself. Hey, I'm proud of you, man. That's what I'm trying to see from everybody.
But what I'm saying is, don't get behind a dead horse, man. He will not pull you anywhere.
Okay, so who are you going to vote for in 2020?
Let me give you what we were talking about. What I started to talk to you about. Trump will be impeached if it gets through the Senate and everything. It's a great possibility if any Republicans got any kind of spine, they'll vote to remove him. He's running a criminal enterprise out of the White House. He's accepting money for his hotels from people who don't even come stay there, from other governments. The New York Times have reported on all that stuff. I mean, a major newspaper with extensive investigative abilities.
Okay.
They laugh it off like his.
Okay, I'm asking you a question. How about Joe Biden and the Ukraine thing? Is there anything to that?
There ain't nothing to that.
Oh, I figured that'd be the case. I figured you would say Trump is a criminal, send him, lock him up. But Joe Biden, ain't nothing there. I figured you'd say that. That's interesting.
So why would he go? Why would he call the president of Ukraine and ask him to do him a favor? The way the Constitution is written, it says that you cannot. It ain't so much solicit, but you cannot even ask a foreign government to do you a favor when it comes time for opposition against what is an opponent for a presidential or some type of election.
What law is that? Where is that in the Constitution at? I've not seen that. The Democrats do that all the time. But how is it different? The Democrats did that in 2018 with Ukraine. So where is a law that's against that? I want to see it.
Will drag Donald Trump across the floor with the impeachment stuff. He went off today with that young man. That young man was asking, what did he try to accomplish? Are you talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me? Dude, stupid, man. He's straight up stupid.
I mean,
So,
the questioning is stupid because he's been answering the same old thing for, it feels like, weeks now. It's like, come on, man, let's do something else. Let's talk about the Finnish president. Why you keep asking me the same old question over and over?
He sent Bill Barr to Italy trying to find something else. He got Rudy Colludi, stupid Rudy, on TV looking like a jerk with all that stuff he's doing. I don't know. There's a part in the book I read that say wisdom is justified.
Man, look, I don't care nothing about like, you know. See, you a pastor, right? You a preacher.
I'm a man of spirituality.
All right,
so
man.
you don't care about what.
Look, man, tell it to God, man. Don't tell me. I ain't trying to hear that for real. Not from you. You don't. Okay, you seem to be a hypocritical person. How you feel about abortion, sir?
I seem to have gotten underneath your
skin
real
sir.
fast.
How you feel about abortion? Tell me that.
Huh?
How you feel about abortion?
Well, let me give. Okay, I'm gonna answer your question in the words of Herbert Spencer. Herbert Spencer said, "There's a principle." Talking about the truth.
I need a quick answer because we don't have all night.
Okay. Well, you the one did all the talking, and I'm gonna be done with you after I give you this. He said, "There's a principle which is a bar against all information, which cannot fail but to keep a man in everlasting ignorance. And that principle is contempt prior to investigation." You're very closed-minded about some things. I wish you well.
You didn't answer the question. That was great. So you are a typical leftist preacher. You believe in killing babies. How are you going to sleep at night talking about you a preacher, but you want to kill babies? What kind of man does that?
I believe a woman should do whatever.
Exactly. Why you ain't just say? I support abortion? Don't give me this. Don't give me these. Don't give me these fancy words. Just say I'm a preacher, but you can kill human beings and it's okay. Just say that. Don't give me these fancy words. Cut it out.
She wants with her body.
Right. And kill the baby inside her body. Right.
A woman
exactly.
To make a decision.
Okay, I got one last question for you. When does a baby become a baby? When is a baby a baby? Crickets?
I don't know, man. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor.
So when a baby is born, is it a baby?
I guess so.
You guess so?
He's born in the world. See, he's a human being.
So when the baby is 8 months and 2 days, when it could be born, is it a baby at that point?
I guess so. If you say so.
So do you support the Democrats that say you can have an abortion up until 9 months?
Where did this come out of, man?
I just answered the question. I'm trying to figure out, do you support the Democrats, your party, that say you can have an abortion up until 9 months? Yes or no?
No one ever said that.
It was a law. It was a law that was proposed, sir. It was a law they're talking about in Virginia. It was a law in Virginia they tried to get out there. Do you support it, yes or no?
That's that propaganda.
All right. Have a nice night, sir.
Yeah, and you stupid.
You stupid, but you know what? I'm a man of God. See, that's... Stuff like that will drive you away from Christianity. Yeah, exactly. You guess so. Oh, I don't know. A baby that's in my arms, breathing in Google Gaga. I guess it's a baby. I don't know. Maybe. Let me get to my next call. 732, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, B, what's up, buddy?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Good, man. It's Chris from Jersey, bro.
All righty. What's happening?
Oh, man, a lot of crazy guys on the phone tonight. Good conversations, though. Love their point of views. Wild situations here.
Yeah, definitely.
But I appreciate their opinions. And the last caller was bananas, dude. Banana land guy. Way beyond. And the other guy, like, everything's all divided here. Like, we're all just trying to, come together and try to get through things, I don't know why everyone's trying to fight and cause chaos here. It's kind of insane,
Right.
The lady over there in Dallas, she did something ridiculous. I personally think what your 10-year thing was, that's, I guess it's understandable. I would give her a couple more years for that. Personally, I think she deserves maybe 15 to 20. But that's my opinion. She doesn't deserve to go to jail for a while for that insane, activity. But I just want to say, like, people just kind of stop fighting about stupid stuff, stop dividing and start listening to each other and discuss, like smart ideas and stop separating from color and this and that. Like, yeah, man, like, the girl might have done this, girl might have that. Yeah, she probably didn't like her hair. Maybe, she was going through some stuff. It's understandable, stop the race cars, stop the hating and the yelling and screaming, Trump's not the best guy in the world. I do support him, but he's not the perfect guy. Am I? No, I'm not perfect. Are you perfect? I don't know, but, we just kind of like, seriously, dude, it's just the truth.
I understand.
I'm
like,
not perfect,
nobody is. Nobody's perfect.
No, not at all, man, And you have some great callers, phenomenal callers, but this, I'm a white guy, dude, and I understand where some people from color come from this point of view, and it's like, man, we're here together. Let's just stop letting the media separate us and push us away from each other. Come together as a humanity effort, and then let's fight through it, man. Seriously, fight through it.
Definitely, man. I agree. I'm with you.
Yeah, dude. That's short and sweet, but you always do good stuff, man. I love your stuff. I love callers. I love like the conversations you have. It's always fun, man. It's always like conversational. Let's just stop like Trump this, Trump that. Dude, like this, the media's out for him. It's obvious. It's just clear and cut. It's just the CIA is involved too. It goes deep, man. It goes too deep, too much for this phone call. But thanks again, man. Thanks for my phone call.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, buddy. Thanks. Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you. We got a little bit more time. And to let you guys know, tomorrow I'm going to D.C. for BLS, Black Leadership Summit. We did it last year in D.C., and it was great. It was fantastic. And I can't wait for the next one. We're going to the White House on Friday at about 4:30. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Let me get to the next call here. 513, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, baby? How you doing, bro?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, so I think I subbed to your channel maybe 2-3 weeks ago. So very impressed. Good content. This whole color black and white issue, like the last call you just had. Shout out to him for calling. I'm just really sick and tired of the whole color issue, and it's not just the left that's pushing the color agenda. It's everybody that is pushing this black and white racist nonsense. This foolish dude that you had on prior, this old dude, I guess was 65, whatever. He sounded like Steven to me off of the Django. Here's one he got that whole slave spirit. Anyway, bro. So here's my deal with the whole cop in Dallas. And I respect your opinion on that and your viewpoint and whatnot. The whole thing was just really twisted to me. How I don't care. I don't care if she was 15 hours or not. Listen, I own my own company, and I have worked in upwards of 18 to 19 hours in one day and have come home. And I know when I walk through the door, this is my house. It smells like my house. The pictures look like my house. The people in it look like the people that's supposed to be there. The cars are in the driveway are mine. Granted, she was in a apartment complex or whatever, and I get all that. Did she deserve murder? No. Manslaughter, yeah. I think she deserved a little bit more time for that, but I don't think she deserved murder. But to not render first aid to this gentleman and to just be concerned about herself after that was over. She was a professional. She was a law enforcement officer. Even when they shoot someone on the scene, they still call to render first aid and medical support to try and at least save them if they can. This is what they do. She did none of that. And the fact that she just barged into this man's house and did not realize, like, how can you not know that this is not your house? Now, this might be off base, but I've gone into white people's houses. I've gone into black people's houses. And this might sound weird, but they don't smell the same, bro. Like, the pictures on the wall don't look the same. This man was not an American descent. He was from a foreign country, so I'm sure that he had some African relics on the wall, some pictures, something that she had to see that, hey, yo, this ain't my house. Like, I just don't understand how 12 or 15 hours of work can render you just completely brain dead where you don't realize where you're at. That's just my take. Again, I respect your opinion on it and your viewpoint. I just don't think that, it was just a bad situation all the way around.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? That's what. So outside of that, bro, you handled yourself well on the phone calls. That guy that just called you, I'm sorry, he ticked me off because, there's a lot of us that are black in this country. I'm 45 years old, and to hear him talk, he's been wounded in his past by people that are not black, and he continues to carry that wound. And he's never going to heal. And anyone on this call, anybody inside the chat room or whatever that thinks like him, you have to open your mind and stop that, because if you do not stop and heal yourself, this country is going to fall. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm going to let you go. If the left ever get control of both the House and the Senate and the White House, we are in so much trouble. I'm just going to be honest with you, Anthony, if this man does not get reelected, I have found myself, the first time in all of my years of being in this country, have found myself afraid of what can happen next because of what the left has done with themselves and the stance that they're taking, and the fact that they don't stand up against Antifa, and the fact that they stand up and just everything that's right they say is wrong, and everything is wrong they say is right. And if they do not, if they get control, dude, we're in so much trouble. So I appreciate your platform and what you're doing, man. Keep up the good work, bro. Hopefully one day I'll be able to be as good as you, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, brother.
All
Peace.
right, now. Peace. All right, shout out to the caller. I most certainly appreciate him. And you guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. I thank you all for being here. You guys have been great. We got a few more minutes to take a few more calls, and we can rock out like that. All right, let me see. Yeah, Texas, man, it's a different place, and that's all I could really say about it. The situation was unfortunate, but you got to look at it as with as little emotion as possible. That's just the best way to go about it, in my humble opinion. 405, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 405. Going once.
Hello?
Yes, 405. Hello.
Hey, this is Darren. Spoke before with you. Had one favor if you could do it for tomorrow. If you could hunt out AOC and take a piece of paper and a pen like you want an autograph, and if she starts to autograph it, just say, no, I need a mojito recipe. And I think that would really be good for her. Also, I think the white supremacists need to start adopting the middle finger as their symbol, so that way it'll kind of curb down the leftists from flying it everywhere. And man, I just enjoy your show. I'll let you get to another caller. I just wanted to say, if there's a video of you asking AOC for a mojito recipe, it's going to blow up the internet. Have a good night, sir.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All righty. Shout out to my man for the call. I definitely appreciate it. And shout out to you all for being here. You guys are great, as always. Yeah, a lot of very smart callers calling in. You got a few people that could be considered trolls or just different. I don't want to say trolls. They're just different callers. And it's all good to have a different point of view. That's what it's all about. Let me see. And did I get everybody? A super chat. Yeah, I got your super chats right quick. Thank y'all for donating to the stream. I appreciate it. Let me see. We have who? Thank you to my man Sushi, who says, courts use sentencing charge for prison time. Sentencing goes by level 1, 2, or 3 based on past arrest and class, severity of offense. It's called structured sentencing. I've worked in criminal justice for 15 years. Nothing new. Well, there it is right there. So it's just a matter of just kind of like paperwork, really. But thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you for your donation. Shout out to Matthew Richardson, who says Bill Cosby ruined dread for all women post Lisa Bonet. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate it. I'll get to some more in a minute. Let me get this call. All right, SOBC, what's happening?
ABL, how you doing there today?
Everything's great, man. Can't complain.
Great, great. Let me tell you something, ABL. I remember when I joined this gym about let's say 2, 3, 4 months ago. My first day there, I was so eager to go work out. You know, it had been, I think I'd missed about 2 weeks of working out, and I had this high energy, and I was just so ready to go work out. And I was just walking so quick, and I passed the men's bathroom, and I went into the women's bathroom, and I set my stuff down, and it just didn't seem right. You know, I looked around, it smelled a little good, a little rosy. I was like, the men's bathrooms usually don't smell this good. And I looked around, and I saw a lady in the sauna. So I was like, oh, okay, crap, I'm in the wrong bathroom. I went out, and I realized I was in the women's bathroom, went back and entered the men's bathroom. And my point in saying that is people are different. People react differently to stress. And I believe this, what's her name? Guyger. What's her first name again? I'm blanking out. Amber Guyger. I believe that, you know, I mean, she had a long day of work. She was definitely negligent. I agree with that. She wasn't paying attention to her surrounding, but I don't think, as you know, as a lot of people are suggesting, I don't think she deserved to get anything more than 10 years. For me personally, I think she should probably deserve maybe 5 years or less, just based off of the facts of the case. You know, people are being too emotional about this whole case, you know, injecting race as usual, but, you know, and they're not seeing the clear picture here.
Right, exactly. And people got to get beyond that emotion. People got to get beyond all this stuff. You know, I understand some people, they kind of want to overreact because, especially if you're on the right, you want to overreact because people accuse you of not sticking up for these particular situations, and it may be a chance for you to do that, but it may not be the best thing. It's not, if it's not right, it's not right. It doesn't matter. You just got to be consistent with how you behave on certain situations. It can't be looked at just because it's a racial issue differently than anything else that will happen in the same situation. Look at the facts of the case and then make a decision. It shouldn't be based on, well, I feel this and I feel that. Look at the facts, then make your mind up. People are kind of going, like you said, going off of emotion.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. And what else was I going to say? Oh, and the best thing I saw today was that the victim's brother giving her, you know, embracing her and hugging her and saying he forgave her. You know, that was the best thing. I think that's the best thing that happened in this whole case. And, you know, he's a perfect example of what a real Christian is. You know, you forgive in times like, you know, in certain times like this. You know, you forgive and, you know, you move on.
That's right.
And you know, he did a beautiful thing. Absolutely. Yeah. Otherwise, ABL, a great show. There was lots of great calls today. Enjoying the show. Keep up the great work as usual.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thank you to my man SOBC for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Yeah, there's a picture right there, right on the screen. Okay, that's the victim's brother. Okay. Now, before this picture, he was on the stand saying that he doesn't even really want her to go to jail. He just, in his faith, he forgives her, and he wants to be able to have, because really forgiving, from what I know, and if I'm wrong, let me know, forgiving is not so much about them, it's about you. You don't want to harbor that hate around and carry that in your spirit, because it'll hurt you more than it will hurt them. So he forgave her and gave her a hug. This is the judge, black female judge, giving the lady a hug. And then this is the officer. I'm not really sure if she was fixing her hair or like what that was all about, but that was after the verdict. So, I mean, people just, the situation was an accident. It was tragic. Yes, she's going to jail, but it was not like she had the intent to go to his house and people talking about she knew him. It was just a lot of bad things that happened and made an unfortunate accident take place. She is responsible for it. That's why she's going to jail. But let me get to maybe one last call, and then I got to wrap it on up, put a nice bow on the top. Okay, let's go. All right. 910, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Sergeant D.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, so here's the one thing. I'm gonna make this try to make this quick as possible. What people are missing out on this whole thing about the impeachment, right, is not the Joe Biden sentence, but the very first part of the paragraph where he asks the Ukrainian president for a favor on CrowdStrike. See, CrowdStrike, if everybody's been following the news, was the organization that told the FBI that Russia so-called hacked their server, the DNC server.
Mm-hmm.
CrowdStrike was also the company that was monitoring and maintaining Hillary Clinton's email server. Now, people shouldn't be thinking that, well, there should only be one server, because nobody ever keeps all their eggs in one basket. He might be looking at, if there's another server over at CrowdStrike in Ukraine, there might be classified information on that server. See, that's what people are missing out. People are always like, they're quick to throw the Biden thing, like, oh, he's trying to investigate Biden. No, it's not about Biden. It's about CrowdStrike. That's what they're worried about. Because if they get the information, if they get their hands on that, and they start looking at who's been emailing through there, and they come to find out that there's been Democratic operatives or congressional people moving emails through that server, and if there's anything classified on that server, a lot of heads are going to roll. Because remember when Hillary Clinton said if Donald Trump gets elected, heads would roll?
Yeah.
Or we're going to hang. I think that's what the email said, we're going to hang. It's because Donald Trump now is like, okay, well, let's go figure out what started all this. But that opens up the whole door into, okay, let's go find where all these servers are at, everybody implicated in this whole Russia bull snot and everything. That's where the narrative is. Because you notice the second the so-called whistleblower, the whole thing, and then Nancy Pelosi comes out and says, okay, we're going to impeach. And then what will happen the next day? Hillary Clinton said, oh, yeah, let's impeach. I'm so for it. But then the transcript comes out, and what we see on the transcript, because now it's coming out that Adam Schiff had contact with this person, so-called whistleblower. He found out about all this information through this so-called person that heard all this information. If the word CrowdStrike came up, that's probably why they're getting all antsy and trying to get him out of office. Of course, it's not going to succeed with the Republican Party in the Senate. But that's what everybody keeps missing, is that one key word, CrowdStrike. It's where the emails were at. And if all those classified emails are duplicated and put in that server, there's a lot of heads that are going to roll. On the thing with the young black girl, a lot of people ain't noticing one thing too. Notice that it was that particular school that young black girl goes to, a Christian school, is the exact same school where Pence's wife teaches part-time at the art class.
That's right.
That blew up because it implicates the vice president's wife as, oh, this is a racist school. But then when the whole narrative fell apart, you didn't even hear the apology on TV. Because the grandparents were like, oh, we're sorry and whatnot. I mean, that was her grandparents. But they were trying to paint all weekend long that this was a racist Christian school, and they're going to try and pin it on Mike Pence's wife, or, associated with the Pences. That's what they were trying to do, because that stuff happens. I mean, it could happen somewhere else in another part of the country. You barely even hear about it.
Right.
like that. I think it was the Ohio. The kid, the coach, wrestling coach, had to cut the kid's dreadlocks off, and that barely even made the news. I think that was just in the paper or on the internet. It didn't make mainstream news. It didn't make the nightly news, but this made nightly news.
Right.
And you know what? I've dated some black girls in my time.
I mean, I don't mean to get ready to cut you, but I'm kind of like really low on time. I got to be right at the end of the show.
All right. And another thing, real quick, the Amber girl, I think should have been manslaughter. 10 years, I think, is a good sentence. But a lot of people don't understand is the career that she's in is a high stress career. 15 hours in that job will really wear you out quick. So she might not have known. That could have been a problem, but she did screw up, and she's got to face the consequences. You know, just like when I was in the Marine Corps before I got retired out. If I screwed up, I had to bite the bullet and take the consequences. So.
All righty, man. Anyway. Well, I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you letting me on again. Thanks.
All righty. Take care.
Yeah, bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. I most certainly appreciate him. I got super chats right quick, and then I got to wrap it up. Y'all trying to keep me on night. You know I got to be up in the morning. Well, my flight ain't till, it's not like an early flight, so I'm straight. All right. Thank you to Miriam Vidal, who says, so this idiot is mad at ABL for having an opinion, but what is this troll doing on the phone? that was earlier when I was having the little conversation with the guy. Shout out to you for the donation. Definitely appreciate you. Okay, I'm gonna take this one call. They've been trying to call in for a while. Then I got to wrap it on up, put a bow on top, super chats, and go to bed. All right. All righty, 210, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yay, I got through. It's Elizabeth from San Antonio.
All right.
Thank you so much for taking my call.
And no problem. I saw you were trying to get on, so I was like, okay, let me let it get on, and then we can close the show out like that. So thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Oh, gosh, dude, this is such an honor. So, I wanted to tell you congratulations, and I'm super excited for you going to the White House on Friday. So.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's going to be a big event. I'm going to try to get a lot of footage and put it up on my social media and also on YouTube, of course. It's going to be great. The mainstream media, of course, they're going to be there. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to cover it, like what kind of comments they're going to make.
Yeah. Well, I'm very excited for you. I know you got to go, so I didn't want to bug you. And I just thought that guy was so ridiculous. I know you're tired of hearing about the caller kerfuffle. I use your words now. Yeah, that was just super ridiculous because you said that you said she probably didn't like her dreads. You didn't say that she didn't like them, so you weren't speaking on her behalf. But yeah. So.
And that was my whole point. Is like, on this channel, I give my opinion. That's part of the reason people are here. They want to hear how I feel about it. I get all the time. I get emails and DMs to say, "Hey ABL, what do you think about this? What's your opinion on that?" And I give it. So some people, they don't understand what's an opinion and what a fact is. They don't understand the difference.
Yeah. They don't. They're not educated and they're ignorant. So they're just calling in and I also like the other guy that called in. He, the 62-year-old, the guy that I guess he was a Democrat preacher. It was totally funny how when he first called in, he was like acting like he was going to tell you what was up, but you totally like shut him down, and he totally like just retreated. It was too funny.
Hey, that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you taking my call, and I can't wait for the vids tomorrow and the day after. And I'm excited to see how it goes on Friday, your visit.
Well, I thank you for the call.
Alrighty. Thank you.
All right, now take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate it. Yeah, she's been trying to call in for a long time, so I was like, okay, let me go ahead and get that caller in there. But if you're on the line now, I'm sorry. I'm already over the time. I got to go because I got to make moves. I'm super busy. I've been moving all day today. I it's crazy. But super chats, I'm going to read those, then wrap it on up, put a bow on the top. Thank you to Oliver Shorn, who says, ABL, hang up on this clown waste of time. That was the young lady was talking about that I got into a little bit of a tiff with. And Stymie says, ABL, you and Rachel Hollick should do a collab in the future. Yeah, I think you might have been the person that called in earlier and said that. So shout out to Razorfish, Rachel Hollick. I definitely got to hit them up and see what's going on. Thank you to Oliver Shorten again, who says, thank you for everything that you do, ABL. Hashtag dreadlock hoax. Hey, it's all good, man. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to Matt, who says, don't steal Crump's childhood or cut his dreads. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you to OMG WTF, who says, ABL has a mini-me cool, talking about my man Chandler. Shout out Chandler Crump. Thank you to Chris Anderson, who says, ABL, you and your guests bring me hope. Hey, I thank you for your donation and your very kind words. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to John Matrix, who says, ABL, I can't take it. The wokeness is out of control. The OK symbol is racist, but the Bloods had that symbol on lockdown for almost 40 years. Exactly 100% my point. I saw that on RT. I don't know if you saw that, but that was my point. It's like, all right, it's been used by gangs and whatnot for years and years and years, long before there was even an internet, but all it took was one post on the internet forum. Now the internet says, well, the ADL says it's a hate symbol. Crazy. But thank you for your donation and your words. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to Cthulhu Dancing, who says, don't let the media smear John Solomon. Thank you for that. Shout out to Mitch, who says, ABL, great show. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Thank you to Randy Hausner for your donation. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Stymie again, who says, that's how we got Barack. Shout out to Stuart Roberts, who says, Greta Thunberg's Antifa/eco-radical parents abuse. There you go, 100. Thank you to Matt, who says, pedo Frasty should be in the common lexicon. He spoke about that earlier. So if you want to know what he was talking about right there, just rewind a little bit and then you'll see what he says. And I think that is all I got on Super Chats. Let me just refresh, see if I got everything. And then we can, thank you to JJ, who says she saw a male invade her space where she had the opportunity to blow him away and she took it. 9 out of 10 times she would do the same thing, just that she was in the wrong this time. Law enforcement play these scenarios in their head. Exactly. You know, it just was an unfortunate situation that happened and it cost a man his life in his own house. It was an accident. That's why it should have been manslaughter. I think the sentence she got was congruent with what a manslaughter charge would have been. But thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Sergeant D, U.S. Marine Corps retired, who says, thanks for the time to talk on the show. Hey, it's all good, man. And thank you for your donation and your service. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Sushi again, who says, ABL, if you got the picture with AOC or anyone on the squad doing an OK hand sign, that'd be epic. Hey, that's life goals right there. Then you get Rashida Tlaib in the picture going with the big OK sign right in the middle of it. That'd just be fantastic. But is that everything? I think I got everything. Hold on. Yeah, I got everything. Thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. I will see y'all next time. I may or may not be on the show Saturday, live show. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'll be in DC. I'll have some equipment with me. I might be able to do it. I don't know, but we're gonna see. But you're definitely gonna see some interviews, some vlogging in the White House, outside the White House, a little bit of everything here and also on my social medias. Go to my website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. And follow me everywhere. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and that's all I got for that. I'll probably do some streaming on Facebook. It does pretty good over there. And also some streamers over here. So that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.